What if the most mysterious places on Earth were never meant to be explored? From forbidden islands and ancient temples hidden deep in the jungle to ruins that defy explanation and artifacts scientists still cannot decode. This is 1 hour of unsolved archaeological mysteries, places humanity was never supposed to set foot in. Amid the deep blue waters of the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago under Indian territory lies a small island of only about 60 square kilometers. Yet it is considered one of the most mysterious and dangerous places on Earth, North Sentinel Island. What makes this island extraordinary is not its landscape or rich resources, but the existence of the Sentinelese, one of the most isolated human communities on the planet who have lived in seclusion for tens of thousands of years with virtually no interaction with the modern world. While many other indigenous tribes have gradually come into contact and integrated with outside civilization, the Sentinelese continue to live the hunter-gatherer life of their prehistoric ancestors. They use bows and arrows, wooden spears, and simple tools to catch fish crabs and forage in the dense forests. Their language has never been deciphered, and linguists believe it may not resemble any language still in existence today. For this reason, the island is often regarded as a living time machine, transporting humanity back tens of thousands of years. Do you think the hostility of the Sentinelese tribe is a brutal behavior that needs to change, or a legitimate form of self-defense to protect their existence? Share your opinion in the comments below. Because of its uniqueness, the Indian government has issued a law strictly prohibiting access to North Sentinel Island. No one is allowed within 5 nautical miles of its shores. The first reason is to protect the Sentinelese people from the risk of infectious diseases. Even something as common as the flu, harmless to modern humans, could be catastrophic for a community with no exposure to medicine. The second reason is to ensure the safety of outsiders, as the tribe is notorious for its extreme hostility towards strangers. One of the main factors that has made North Sentinel Island both infamous and haunting is the fierce and uncompromising hostility of the Sentinelese toward anyone who dares set foot on their territory. In modern history, there have been many incidents that clearly demonstrate this absolute vigilance. In 1974, a National Geographic documentary crew approached the island and was immediately met with a hail of arrows, injuring one member and forcing the group to retreat in fear. In 2006, 2 Indian fishermen who had accidentally anchored near the island were killed by the tribe's arrows, and when government helicopters arrived to recover the bodies, they too were driven away by stones and arrows. Perhaps the most shocking event to global public opinion occurred in 2018, when a young American missionary, John Allen Chow, attempted to approach the island to spread Christianity and was killed the moment he set foot on the beach. His body remains there to this day, untouched, as no one dares to retrieve it. All of these events illustrate the Sentinelese's uncompromising determination to defend their territory, where any presence from the outside world is regarded as a threat to be eliminated immediately. The reason why the Sentinelese always display hostility toward the outside world has been a major question that anthropologists have debated for decades. Some theories suggest that after tens of thousands of years of isolation, they developed an exceptionally strong defensive instinct to protect their small community from any potential threat. Historical evidence shows that every contact, however rare, often ended in disaster. Unfamiliar diseases brought by outsiders could wipe out an entire tribe with no immunity, while intrusions by fishermen exploiting resources often led to conflict and bloodshed. Such experiences gradually reinforced the belief that all strangers are enemies. Therefore, drawing bows, shooting arrows or hurling stones, is not merely an act of aggression, but rather a survival strategy. While many other tribes have vanished under the expansion of the modern world, the Sentinelese have endured thanks to their uncompromising determination to defend the borders of their existence. The Sentinelese know nothing of telephones, the internet, or any conveniences of modern society. They need no money use, no modern metals, and have no written language. Their world consists of the sea, the forest, and tools of stone, bamboo, and wood. This makes them one of the rare tribes on Earth still living entirely outside the flow of civilization. Remarkably, even scientists cannot study them closely. All data about their language, culture, or social structure comes only from distant observations or extremely brief encounters in the past. Everything about them remains cloaked in mystery. North Sentinel Island is not just an island. It is a symbol of absolute independence from the modern world. While the rest of humanity marches into the age of technology, artificial intelligence, and globalization, the Sentinelese continue to live in near prehistoric ways. To many, they are like living fossils, proof of the astonishing diversity in humanity's evolutionary journey. Yet the island also poses a difficult question. Do modern humans have the right to explore or intervene in the life of a community that has chosen seclusion? Or should we allow them to continue in their own way, even if that means eternal distance? To this day, North Sentinel Island remains one of the least known places on Earth. We do not know how many people live there, their average lifespan, what they believe in, or even what they call themselves. The only thing the world knows for certain is they will never accept our presence. Ironically, this very hostility, rather than diminishing the island's value, makes North Sentinel Island one of humanity's most fascinating mysteries. This tiny island is both frightening and sacred, a reminder that not every corner of Earth belongs to us. Thus, North Sentinel Island is not just a remote dot on the map of the Indian Ocean. It is a symbol of mystery, of the right to exist freely as an ancient people, and also a warning that not every door is meant to be opened. Off the coast of São Paulo lies a place wrapped in fear and legend, Snake Island. At first glance, it looks like an untouched tropical paradise, a green jewel rising from the Atlantic. But beneath the dense canopy hides a nightmare. This tiny patch of land, barely 43 hectares wide, holds one of the highest concentrations of venomous snakes anywhere on Earth. For centuries, it has been called a forbidden island, a gateway to death, where every step could bring you face to face with the world's deadliest guardians. But beyond the deadly snakes, legends whisper of hidden pirate treasure buried deep within this forbidden land. Do you think Snake Island truly hides a treasure chest guarded by venomous serpents, or is it only a myth born from fear? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What makes Snake Island truly unique is the presence of the golden lancehead viper, Bothrops insularis, an endemic creature found only here and nowhere else in the world. This snake carries a terrifying weapon, venom many times more potent than its mainland relatives, capable of causing human flesh to necrotize within moments. Scientists have calculated that just a small amount of its venom is enough to end a human life within hours. For this reason, the Brazilian government has imposed an absolute ban on human settlement and strictly controls all access. Today, only specially authorized research teams equipped with rigorous medical and protective gear are allowed to set foot on this deadly island. Although it is infamous for its deadly snakes, Snake Island is more than just a biological danger zone. It is also a place where countless legends have been woven, especially tales of pirate treasure and historical secrets buried beneath its wild terrain. According to local folklore centuries ago, the island was chosen by pirates as a secret hiding place for their spoils after raids. They carried chests filled with gold and jewels, burying them deep in the wild soil. But instead of leaving the treasure vulnerable to discovery, they are said to have devised a chilling method of protection, releasing thousands of venomous snakes onto the island. With venom strong enough to kill a human within hours and a rapid ability to reproduce, the snakes turned Snake Island into a natural fortress, impenetrable to outsiders. This legend has led many to believe that hidden among the dense jungle still lie forgotten chests of gold, guarded by the most terrifying biological shield on Earth. Many sailors and fishermen from São Paulo tell stories of groups who once dared to land on the island in search of treasure. But they either never returned, or if they survived, came back covered in wounds and haunted for life. The disappearances and deaths of these treasure hunters only made the legend of Snake Island more chilling. People believe the island is not only guarded by venomous snakes, but also cursed, that anyone who tries to seize the treasure must pay with their blood. The historical mystery of Snake Island does not end with tales of pirates. In the early 20th century, a lighthouse was built on the island to help ships avoid crashing on the rocky shore. The lighthouse keeper and his family are said to have lived there for a time. But according to legend, one night, snakes slithered into their home through the cracks, attacking and killing them all. The story spread widely, turning the abandoned lighthouse into a symbol of haunting. Whether truth or folklore, it was enough to give Snake Island a terrifying reputation where no one dares to tread except the bravest or the most reckless. What is striking is that official records have never confirmed the existence of pirate treasure on the island. Still, in Brazilian folklore, Snake Island is inseparably linked to the image of a place rich in legend, but deadly in reality. Locals believe that if one day technology or human courage is strong enough to fully explore it, hidden secrets from centuries past may finally be uncovered. However, the treasure theory also has a symbolic interpretation. Some cultural researchers suggest that the treasure may not be gold or jewels at all, but rather the golden lancehead viper itself. With its potential scientific and medical value, this snake is a true biological treasure bestowed by nature. Its venom is being studied for treatments of cardiovascular disease and blood clotting disorders. If successful, it could save millions of lives, transforming Snake Island from a deadly hellscape into the birthplace of medical breakthroughs. The blend of real danger and mythical treasure has given Snake Island a unique allure. It terrifies, yet fascinates, striking both fear and curiosity. In human imagination, the island stands as a vivid symbol of the complex ties between nature history and myth. It is a place that modern science cannot fully explain, where legends continue to endure and spread from generation to generation. Today, Snake Island is strictly off-limits to tourism. No tours are offered, no casual footsteps allowed, only occasional research expeditions by scientists with full protective gear. This isolation has preserved the island's aura of mystery. The image of treasure chests, buried deep and guarded by thousands of snakes, remains forever part of Brazil's folklore, a reminder that some places on Earth are not meant to belong to humankind. And this is what makes Snake Island, Ilha da Queimada Grande, not only a unique natural site, but also a living legend, where the boundary between fact and myth blurs, creating one of the most captivating mysteries on the planet. Deep in the vast emptiness of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert, where scorching days give way to freezing star-filled nights, there burns a fire that never sleeps. It is not a campfire, nor the glow of a distant village, but a colossal pit of flame that the world has come to fearfully and fascinatedly call the door to hell. Known as the Darvaza gas crater, this inferno has raged for decades, an unquenchable blaze that defies wind time and every attempt to silence it, casting an eerie light across the desert, as if a gateway to another world had been torn open. If you were standing at the edge of the Darvaza gas crater, staring into its eternal flames, would you feel awe or pure fear? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What makes the Darvaza crater extraordinary is not only its enormous size, about 70 meters in diameter and nearly 30 meters deep, but especially its eternal flame, which has burned brightly for more than half a century. When night falls over the endless desert, the flames from Darvaza surge upward like a blazing heart, illuminating the sky and creating a scene both majestic and terrifying, as if pulled from a nightmare. Locals call this place the door to hell, and indeed, when standing at the crater's edge, looking down at the furious fires erupting from deep within the earth, few can avoid the chilling feeling of witnessing the opening of another world. The story began in 1971, when a team of Soviet engineers was drilling for natural gas in the Darvaza region. During the operation, the fragile ground collapsed, forming a massive pit. From within the earth, methane gas began to leak out in dangerous concentrations, threatening humans and animals in the area. Faced with this emergency, the geologists made a bold decision. They ignited the gas, believing the fire would last only a few days, or at most a few weeks. But they could not have imagined that the flames would roar to life and burn non-stop for over 50 years, turning the Darvaza crater into one of the most frightening eternal fires on Earth. It is the unbelievable persistence of the flames that transformed the Darvaza crater from an industrial accident into a mysterious symbol that astonishes the world. Instead of being depleted, as many once predicted, the methane beneath the Karakum Desert seems to exist in vast reserves, continuously feeding the blaze for more than half a century. Day after day, night after night, the fire roars endlessly as if an enormous furnace lies beneath the earth, working without rest. The scorching heat, the roaring bursts of gas, and the countless sparks flying upward make onlookers feel as though they are standing before a living volcano. Yet unlike a natural eruption, this inferno stands as a stark reminder of a human mistake, an artificial flame that has spiraled far beyond control. The image of the Darvaza crater at night is unforgettable. In the vast desert darkness with no lights and no dwellings in sight, there lies a blazing red pit like a colossal steel furnace. Winds whip through, causing the flames to sway and roar, sometimes sending fiery columns several meters high. Standing by the rim, one can feel the scorching heat, radiating outward enough to make the air around it shimmer. Many visitors describe the sensation as confronting a giant living creature, a fiery being that never sleeps. This eternal flame is not only symbolic, but also a stark reminder of human helplessness before nature. Initially, the Soviet engineers believed they could quickly solve the leaking gas. Yet the fire became a vivid lesson when humans interfere with nature without fully understanding what lies beneath the consequences can endure for decades or even centuries. Today, the Darvaza crater has become Turkmenistan's most famous tourist attraction despite its remote location. Thousands of travelers from around the world risk crossing the Karakum Desert just to witness the door to hell with their own eyes. Many choose to camp near the rim, spending the night gazing at the glowing flames beneath a star-filled sky. According to visitors, the experience is both terrifying and awe-inspiring, forcing them to reflect on the power of nature and the smallness of human existence. Yet beyond its visual allure and tourist value, the Darvaza crater raises serious environmental questions. Methane is a greenhouse gas dozens of times stronger than CO2. Burning it continuously for over 50 years has released vast amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere, worsening global climate change. Scientists and even the Turkmen government have proposed extinguishing the fire, but to this day, no effective solution has been found. Darvaza's eternal flame is both a symbol and a paradox. It attracts curiosity, amazement, and fear all at once. It reminds us that some things lie beyond human control, that a single decision in the past can create a phenomenon lasting longer than a lifetime. More importantly, it stands as a living testament to the fragile link between humans and nature, a link that is easily broken and sometimes can manifest as a door to hell right here on Earth. For centuries, humanity has woven countless legends of eternal flames, from the Olympic torch that never goes out to mythic tales of everlasting hellfire. But few expected that in the middle of the Karakum Desert, a real eternal flame would exist, not created by gods, but by human hands. And when gazing into the door to hell, perhaps each of us must ask, is this not a reflection of our ambition, our curiosity, and even our mistakes on the path of conquering the earth? Beneath the dazzling lights of Paris, the city of love, art, and elegance, lurks a hidden world few dare to imagine. Forget the Eiffel Tower's glow and the romance of cobblestone streets. Deep underground lies a realm of darkness, silence, and death. This is the Catacombs of Paris, a labyrinth built from the bones of millions, stretching for hundreds of kilometers like veins of the underworld. Nicknamed l'Empire de la Mort, the Empire of Death, it is more than just a burial site. It is a place where history bleeds into myth, where whispers of the past echo in the shadows, and where every step feels like trespassing into a forbidden realm that does not welcome the living. Many believe that the mysterious disappearances in the catacombs have never truly been explained. Do you think the real cause is simply people getting lost in the endless maze? Or could there be some hidden force lurking in the darkness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As one descends deeper into the catacombs, the air grows heavier, and the silence presses in like an unseen weight. Along the narrow passages, walls of human bones and skulls rise up on either side, stacked with an almost artistic precision that makes death itself appear sculpted into macabre patterns. But this strange beauty is only a thin veil. Beyond the tourist paths lies a vast labyrinth stretching more than 300 kilometers, a network so complex that even modern maps fail to capture it fully. Only a fraction is accessible to the public. The rest remains shrouded in pitch-black darkness, icy dampness, and a silence so profound it feels alive. It is within these hidden corridors that countless legends have been born, particularly tales of explorers who wandered too far and never returned, swallowed by the endless maze of stone and bone. For centuries, the Paris catacombs have been a mysterious meeting ground for thrill-seekers known as cataphiles. They often sneak into forbidden passages, carrying flashlights, ropes, and homemade maps, driven by a desire to conquer tunnels that no human had ever walked before. Yet this hunger for discovery comes at a terrible cost. Many have lost their way, wandering endlessly through the cold, suffocating darkness until they vanished forever. The most chilling legend surrounds an amateur filmmaker who ventured alone into an uncharted section. Years later, his camera was found, by chance, containing shaky footage, pitch-black corridors, the sound of heavy breathing hurried footsteps, and then sudden silence. His body was never recovered. That story spread quickly, igniting countless theories. Some believe he simply collapsed and died, while others insist a hidden force within the catacombs claimed him for eternity. There are also rumors of groups conducting strange rituals underground. At one point, Paris police discovered a fully equipped secret movie theater complete with chairs, a screen, and a projector inside the catacombs. What terrified investigators was that when they returned for further inspection, everything had vanished as if it had never existed. This mystery strengthened the belief that the catacombs are not only a resting place for the dead, but also a gathering ground for secret societies where events occur that the world above will never know. Many witnesses have claimed to hear whispers in the darkness, knocks against the walls, or even see shadowy figures moving at the end of corridors. Some scientists argue these are hallucinations caused by the harsh environment, absolute darkness, thin air, and psychological stress. Yet for those who experienced them, the encounters felt all too real, leaving lasting scars in memory. Above all, the disappearances remain the most chilling feature of the catacombs. Some say that within its 300 kilometers of tunnels, there are hidden paths unmarked on any map. If someone accidentally strays into them, survival chances are nearly zero. In the oppressive darkness, every direction looks the same. Compasses fail due to mineral interference, and just a few wrong steps could doom a person to never find their way back. These disappearances are not just legends. Official records confirm several cases of people who never returned after entering the catacombs. Rescue teams have been dispatched, but searching such a vast and dangerous labyrinth is nearly impossible. Some believe the missing succumbed to exhaustion or lack of oxygen, buried forever in darkness. Others suggest darker conspiracy theories that the catacombs conceal horrific secrets, hidden chambers where humans are not meant to step. It is precisely this aspect of vanishing without a trace that has turned the catacombs into one of Paris's most terrifying symbols. They evoke primal human fears, fear of the dark, fear of death, fear of being abandoned in endless space. The more people disappear, the more the legends grow, cementing the catacombs as one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Today, the catacombs have become a famous tourist attraction, yet the dread of disappearances still lingers. Visitors are strictly warned not to cross designated boundaries, for just a few steps beyond could trap them in an endless maze. With such a chilling past, the catacombs continue to stir curiosity, fear, and questions that remain unanswered. It is precisely because of these unexplained disappearances that the catacombs of Paris are not merely an underground structure, but a symbol of death, mystery, and eternal haunting in the heart of humanity. High in the desolate plateaus of Tibet rises a mountain unlike any other. Mount Kailash is not the tallest peak in the Himalayas, yet it towers over human imagination more than Everest ever could. Cloaked in myths, worshipped across multiple religions, and feared for its forbidden summit, Kailash is said to hold secrets that defy both science and time itself. Pilgrims whisper of strange transformations, explorers speak of cosmic alignments, and legends insist it is the very axis of the universe. This is not just a mountain, it is a riddle carved into stone, a place where the line between myth and reality begins to blur. What do you think lies at the heart of Mount Kailash's mystery? Is it simply a sacred mountain shaped by legend, or could it truly be hiding something science has yet to uncover? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For Hindus, Kailash is the divine abode of Lord Shiva, the god of destruction and rebirth, a key element in the eternal cycle of the universe. For Tibetan Buddhists, It is Mount Meru, the cosmic axis, the center of the world, where all life originates and returns. In Jainism, Kailash is where the great sage Rishabhadeva attained enlightenment, while in the ancient Tibetan Bon religion, it is the dwelling place of ancestral spirits. Strikingly, despite their different origins, stretching from India to Tibet, all these religions regard Kailash as the supreme spiritual center, the very heart of the sacred universe. Its sanctity is further reinforced by the fact that no one has ever set foot on its summit. Unlike Everest, which thousands of climbers attempt each year, Kailash is absolutely forbidden to climb. Both the Chinese government and the Tibetan Buddhist community uphold this ban not only for religious reasons, but also out of belief that the summit is inviolable. Some climbers have requested permission to conquer it, but all attempts have been rejected. Tibetans believe that anyone who violates this sacred mountain would bring about unimaginable consequences. This has made Kailash one of the greatest enigmas, the only peak in the Himalayas where no human has ever stood at the summit. Yet beyond stories of sanctity, what makes Kailash a subject of controversy and fascination is the astonishing phenomenon related to time and aging. Pilgrims performing the ritual circumambulation of the mountain, known as Kora, have reported extraordinary experiences. Their hair and nails seem to grow unusually fast in just a few days of the journey. Some even claimed that after completing one Kora loop of 52 kilometers, their bodies felt as if they had undergone months of change, with the pace of aging seemingly altered. This has led many to believe that the area around Kailash is a place where time does not flow as we normally understand it. Modern scientific theories have attempted to explain this phenomenon, citing factors such as changes in air pressure, extreme climate, or psychological effects during pilgrimage. However, none provide convincing evidence for why hair and nails, which grow at a steady biological rate, would suddenly change within just a few days. Some researchers propose a bolder theory that Kailash may lie at a special intersection of magnetic fields or cosmic energies, a place where the very structure of time itself is warped. If true, Kailash is not just a sacred mountain, but potentially a natural time portal. The story of time distortion at Kailash is also linked to another phenomenon. Close observations, especially through satellite images, have revealed straight lines, nearly right-angled cliffs, and perfect symmetry. These rock formations appear deliberately arranged, making Kailash resemble a colossal pyramid rather than a natural mountain. Remarkably, its four main faces align almost exactly with the cardinal directions, east, west, south, and north, just like ancient artificial structures such as the Great Pyramid of Giza. The precision is so uncanny that it raises the question, could Kailash be more than a natural peak? Perhaps an ancient artificial construction disguised beneath layers of rock and ice. If so, the anomalies in time might be a side effect of some forgotten technology that modern humans cannot yet comprehend. Pilgrimage around Kailash, the Kora, is also tied to a powerful belief that just one circumambulation of the mountain can cleanse the sins of an entire lifetime. Completing 108 circuits, it is said, brings enlightenment and liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Many have dedicated their entire lives to this quest. Some spent decades before completing it, and when they returned, they reported profound changes in body and spirit. Could this transformation be more than religious faith, perhaps connected to the mysterious time phenomena around Kailash? The region around Kailash also hosts two enigmatic lakes, Manasarovar and Rakshastal. Manasarovar is fresh, crystal clear, and symbolizes purity, while Rakshastal is salty dark and regarded as a symbol of darkness and evil. Though separated only by a narrow strip of land, the two lakes possess completely opposite characteristics, a paradox that geology has yet to fully explain. Many believe Kailash itself is the axis of balance between these dualities, maintaining cosmic harmony. Viewed in its entirety, Kailash is more than a mountain. It stands as a symbol of things beyond human understanding, the intersection of faith and science, nature, and possible artificiality, linear time, and a flow of time that eludes our grasp. The stories of rapidly growing hair and nails of aging, seemingly reversed or accelerated in mere days, remain at the heart of its allure to those fascinated by the supernatural. To this day, there is no definitive explanation for the time mystery at Kailash. Yet it is this very uncertainty that makes the mountain more enigmatic than ever. Perhaps Kailash is not merely a mountain of Tibet. It could be an ancient marker built to connect humanity with the cosmos, or even evidence of a long-lost advanced civilization. And if so, then the time phenomena of Kailash may be the last surviving trace, offering humanity a gateway to uncovering deeper secrets about life, the universe, and time itself. Thus, Mount Kailash is far more than just a sacred Tibetan mountain. It is a place where science, religion, and myth intertwine, where time may flow differently, where each pilgrim's step can feel like living through countless years. Until its mysteries are solved, Kailash will remain one of the most enigmatic and captivating places on Earth. Deep in the barren heart of Mexico's Mapimi Desert lies a place that defies everything we know about science. To the eye, it is nothing more than endless sand, thorny cacti, and blistering heat. But the moment you step inside, reality begins to falter. Radios fall silent, compasses spin with no direction. Phones and transmitters become useless as if swallowed by an unseen force. This mysterious land is known as the Zone of Silence, a place where the modern world disappears and silence itself becomes the loudest sound of all. What do you think is really happening inside the Zone of Silence? Just a natural magnetic anomaly or something far more mysterious? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The most distinctive feature that made this place globally famous is the phenomenon of radio waves and magnetic anomalies. Since the 1930s, explorers and pilots passing through the area reported signal loss. Walkie-talkies would not work, transmitters screeched, but could not connect. Engineers carrying radio wave detectors confirmed that once inside this zone, signals were almost completely choked off. Not only radios, but also TVs, telephones, and navigational tools like compasses became unstable. Some reported compasses spinning endlessly, unable to point north. Others said their digital watches slowed down or even stopped briefly, then returned to normal once they left the area. Scientists have set foot in the Zone of Silence many times, hoping to uncover the truth behind its strange phenomena. A common hypothesis suggests that beneath the ground lies a large concentration of magnetic minerals, especially iron ore and metal-rich sediments. These may create localized magnetic disturbances, where electromagnetic waves passing through are absorbed or reflected in unusual ways, leading to a complete loss of signal. What makes the phenomenon even more puzzling is that it does not occur evenly across the desert, but rather in scattered patches, like scattered pockets of silence. Some people can walk for kilometers with no issues, yet just a few hundred meters in another direction. Radios, compasses, and phones all become useless. This irregular, unpredictable pattern makes every attempt at explanation even murkier, deepening the mystery of the Zone of Silence. Another perspective focuses on geology and atmospheric factors. This zone lies on the same latitude as other mysterious locations, such as the Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic and the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. Some researchers suggest the existence of an energy belt encircling Earth, with the Mapimi Desert being one of its nodes. When Earth's energy interacts with cosmic radiation, it could distort magnetic fields and warp radio waves. The idea may sound unscientific, but in the absence of a convincing explanation, it remains popular and widely shared among enthusiasts of the paranormal. A particular incident in 1970 propelled the Zone of Silence into the spotlight. That year, an Athena test missile launched by the US from New Mexico veered wildly off course and crashed precisely in this area, thousands of kilometers from its intended target. The US government had to cooperate with Mexico to retrieve it, and the story quickly fueled speculation that the strange magnetic field had pulled the missile in. Although engineers denied this, calling it a technical error, locals and the press embraced it as living proof of the desert's mysterious power. Not only missiles, but even meteorites from distant space seem to prefer falling into the Zone of Silence. Geologists have recorded that the density of meteorites in this area is unusually high compared to other deserts in Mexico. Many fragments discovered contain iron, nickel, and even rare alloys seldom found in nature. This has led many to believe that the region's abnormal magnetic field pulls cosmic rocks down, as if an unimaginable hidden force exists here. If this hypothesis is correct, the Zone of Silence not only disrupts human radio signals, but may even influence the trajectories of objects coming from outer space. From the perspective of atmospheric scientists, the harsh natural conditions of the Zone of Silence may play a crucial role. Extreme daytime temperatures, the arid desert surface reflecting solar radiation, and the interaction between hot and cold air layers could create an invisible barrier that prevents radio waves from passing through. Some studies suggest that differences in temperature and air density cause radio signals to bend or scatter abnormally. However, the puzzling fact is that even high frequencies normally less affected are also cut off. Moreover, the disruption of mechanical devices, such as compasses, indicates that this phenomenon is not merely about wave interference, but is directly linked to distortions of the region's magnetic field. Alongside scientific research, folklore continues to thrive. Locals speak of strange lights flickering in the sky, resembling lightning but appearing on clear nights. Some witnesses claim to have encountered tall beings with blonde hair and blue eyes, dressed unusually, who said they came from the sky. To many, the Zone of Silence is not merely a land of magnetic oddities, but a gateway to extraterrestrial contact. Today, the Zone of Silence is both a site of research and a destination of mystery tourism. Scientific teams still set up instruments carrying modern equipment to study the vanishing signals. Meanwhile, travelers flock here to experience firsthand what it feels like to be disconnected when phones, radios, and GPS all become useless. Many describe it as surreal, as if separated from the modern world and left with nothing but the desert's absolute silence. That silence makes people feel their own smallness before the universe. With no signals, no connection, one hears only the wind, the crunch of footsteps on sand, and the beating of one's heart. The Zone of Silence becomes a mirror reflecting humanity's eternal fears and curiosities. What lies beyond our knowledge? Is this merely a natural phenomenon, yet to be explained, or truly a point of contact with supernatural forces and the vast cosmos? No matter how far science advances, the Zone of Silence remains an unsolved challenge. The radio wave and magnetic anomalies here both provoke skepticism and fuel imagination. Perhaps that is why this barren, seemingly lifeless land has become one of Mexico's most striking mysteries, a place where silence is not just the absence of sound, but an invitation to step into nature's and the universe's hidden secrets. On the outskirts of Cluj-Napoca in Romania lies a forest unlike any other, a place whispered about in hushed tones and feared as much as it is studied. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, Hoia Baciu is only 250 hectares in size, yet its reputation stretches across the globe. Twisted trees vanishing visitors, strange lights in the sky, and an infamous barren circle at its heart have turned this forest into one of the most unsettling mysteries on Earth. Scientists, thrill seekers, and paranormal researchers all come here searching for answers, but most leave with only more questions. What do you think lies behind the mystery of Hoia Baciu Forest natural science we haven't yet uncovered, or something far more supernatural? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For decades, Hoia Baciu has been associated with stories of UFOs, paranormal events, mysterious disappearances, and the unsettling sensations many visitors feel when entering the forest. However, what makes this place truly unique and world-famous is the clearing, the mysterious circle at the heart of the forest. This open patch of land, although small, is considered the epicenter of all mysteries, a place where phenomena defy conventional human understanding. Upon stepping into Hoia Baciu, many people immediately sense something unusual in the air. The wind rustles through the trees like whispers, and sunlight is often blocked by the dense canopy, creating a dark and eerie atmosphere. Yet the deeper one goes, the more surprising it becomes to find a perfectly round clearing, an empty space where not a single tree grows. While the surrounding woods are packed with twisted, contorted trees, this circle remains inexplicably barren. Scientists have repeatedly carried out detailed studies of the soil in the clearing, hoping to uncover a rational explanation for why not a single tree or shrub has ever taken root there. They tested for toxic substances, abnormal mineral levels, and even traces of radiation that might inhibit growth. But every analysis pointed to the same conclusion: the soil is perfectly ordinary, no different from the surrounding forest floor. This contradiction makes the mystery even deeper. If the ground is fertile and free of contaminants, why has nature refused to reclaim the circle for decades, perhaps even centuries? Some researchers suspect invisible forces at play, from unexplained energy fields to disruptions in the Earth's magnetism, but none of these theories have ever been proven. The clearing is famous not only for its strange emptiness, but also for the paranormal phenomena connected to it. People have reported glowing orbs floating above the circle, mysterious flashes of light appearing in the night, and unexplained sources of illumination. Electronic devices placed within the clearing frequently malfunction. Compasses spin erratically, batteries drain quickly, cameras glitch, and sometimes photographs show strange streaks of light. Researchers measuring electromagnetic waves have repeatedly found irregular fluctuations far beyond normal environmental readings. These anomalies have led many to believe the circle may be an energy portal or even an entrance to another dimension. One of the most unsettling legends tied to the clearing is the phenomenon of sudden disappearance and time distortion. Several witnesses describe entering the circle with friends and feeling an almost immediate change in atmosphere, as if the very air had thickened or the sounds of the forest had dulled. When they finally stepped back out, their watches appeared to have jumped ahead, suggesting that time inside the clearing flowed differently, swallowed or compressed in ways impossible to explain. Though no scientific study has verified these claims, such testimonies fuel the belief that the clearing is more than empty land. It may be a threshold where time and reality themselves begin to fracture. For centuries, locals have considered Hoia Baciu a sacred but dangerous place. Legends say it is haunted by the souls of those who vanished within the woods. One of the most famous tales is about a little girl who disappeared in the forest years ago, only to reappear suddenly much later. Her old clothes were still intact, and she had not aged at all, even though years had passed in the outside world. Villagers believed she had crossed through an invisible gateway within the clearing where time had stood still. Beyond the clearing, Hoia Baciu contains countless other oddities. Trees often grow in bizarrely twisted forms as if bent by an unseen force. Some trunks curve into S-shapes, Z-shapes, or spiral into complete circles. This creates an unsettling scene, especially under the moonlight, when strange shadows stretch across the ground. Many believe the energy radiating from the clearing has influenced the forest's entire ecosystem, warping the growth of its trees. On the paranormal side, many visitors have reported hearing laughter whispers or even seeing shadowy human figures moving among the trees despite being alone. Some tourists claim to have found scratches on their skin or felt burning sensations as though touched by an invisible presence. These experiences have strengthened the belief that the forest is haunted. The most famous international incident connected to Hoia Baciu occurred in 1968, when military technician Emil Barnea photographed an unidentified flying object UFO hovering above the forest. The photo quickly spread worldwide, drawing global attention to the site. Since then, numerous UFO and paranormal research groups have investigated the forest, most of them reporting inexplicable events. All these factors have made Hoia Baciu a renowned destination for mystery enthusiasts. It frequently appears in international documentaries on the paranormal and is regarded as one of the scariest and most enigmatic forests in the world. Yet among all the stories, the clearing remains the central symbol of its mystery, a place science has yet to explain. In conclusion, Hoia Baciu Forest is far more than just a woodland. It is a crossroads between science and legend, between nature and the supernatural. The mysterious circle known as the clearing raises endless questions. Why can't trees grow there? Why do electromagnetic waves fluctuate abnormally? Could it be a portal to another world, or merely a geological phenomenon beyond our current understanding? To this day, no definitive answer exists, and that silence itself keeps Hoia Baciu alive as one of Romania's most haunting and enduring legends. Imagine standing before a lake that looks less like a gift of nature and more like an omen carved into the earth itself. Lake Natron in northern Tanzania, near the border with Kenya, is no ordinary body of water. Under the burning African sun, its surface shimmers, not with blue or green, but with a shocking blood-red glow, a sight so surreal it feels torn from myth rather than reality. This is a place where beauty and terror intertwine, where the line between life and death seems almost visible on the water's surface, and where anyone who beholds it carries away a memory that is impossible to forget. In your opinion, what makes Lake Natron the most haunting? The blood-red color of its waters, the petrified creatures, or the mysterious legends of the Maasai? Share your choice in the comments below. From afar, Lake Natron appears like a giant mirror stretched across the arid ground of the Great Rift Valley. But instead of the refreshing blue we usually associate with lakes, its surface is dyed red, sometimes as deep as wine, other times blazing like fresh blood. This is not a reflection of the sunset, nor a desert mirage. It is the true color of the lake's water, a rare natural phenomenon in the world. The haunting crimson of Lake Natron is not caused by reflections of the sky or the setting sun, but originates from the lake's own extremely harsh ecosystem. Its waters hold abnormally high levels of alkalinity and salt, with a pH reaching up to 10.5, a condition in which most life forms cannot survive. Yet within this seemingly deadly environment, certain algae and salt-loving bacteria Haloarchaea manage to thrive. They produce red and orange pigments serving as natural shields against the intense African sunlight. When their populations bloom, the entire surface of the lake transforms, shifting from pale pink to a deep blood-like red. This transformation occurs seasonally, depending on temperature, evaporation, and microbial balance, turning Lake Natron into a living canvas that constantly shifts between alluring beauty and eerie, death-like terror. During the dry season, as temperatures soar and the lake's water evaporates, thick salt crusts form across the surface, leaving patches of white intertwined with pools of dark red. Seen from above, Lake Natron resembles a surreal painting, its scarlet streaks stretching across the land like massive wounds. The site reminds many of the legendary image of a sea of blood, a cursed place where life can scarcely endure. The blood-red color of Lake Natron has fueled countless myths and fears in local culture. The Maasai people, who have lived around this region for centuries, regard the lake as sacred. In their oral traditions, it is said to be the dwelling place of the spirits of the dead, a gateway separating the human world from the realm of the divine. Many believe that any creature daring to step into the lake will pay the ultimate price, and the sight of calcified birds and bats along its shores only reinforces that belief. The eerie sight of animal carcasses seemingly turned to stone at Lake Natron has long unsettled many observers, but science offers a compelling explanation for this mystery. When birds, bats, or small animals accidentally fall into the lake, they are immediately exposed to waters with extremely high salt concentrations and strong alkalinity. The lake's chemistry quickly erodes their skin and soft tissues, while mineral deposits coat their bodies, gradually hardening them until they resemble stone statues. This process of mineralization happens so swiftly that it creates the impression the lake possesses a cursed power. Famous photographs show birds lying motionless, wings spread as if still in flight, their bodies turned to ashen-gray images that earned Lake Natron its reputation as the petrifying lake. Yet focusing only on death would miss an extraordinary paradox. Within this seemingly lethal atmosphere, life persists with astonishing resilience, as millions of flamingos continue to breed and flourish here. Indeed, in this seemingly deadly landscape, Lake Natron is the most important breeding ground for the lesser flamingo. Millions gather here, protected from predators by the salty crusts and sustained by the very algae that give the lake its red color. In other words, the death of some sustains the life of others. Flamingo chicks are born on the lake's edges, grow, and eventually soar across Africa, yet their life cycle remains forever tied to this blood-red lake. Curiously, the lake's red hues create an uncanny harmony with the flamingos. Against the crimson backdrop, their pale pink feathers seem to dissolve into the scene, producing a vision both surreal and breathtakingly balanced. Aerial photographs capturing thousands of flamingos soaring over the blood-red waters have become some of the most iconic images of African nature. It is precisely because of this unusual coloration that Lake Natron is often described as an alien landscape. Filmmakers and photographers from around the globe travel here to capture its bizarre beauty. From the ground, the lake's water shifts, constantly glowing fiery red under the midday sun, turning purple at dusk and glowing orange at dawn. From above, it resembles an abstract masterpiece, painted by nature's hand, with streaks of red, pink, orange, and white flowing like rivers of blood across the desert. Scientifically, the crimson color is simply the result of adaptation and survival microscopic life forms producing pigments to endure extreme conditions. But emotionally and visually, it triggers an unsettling response. Humanity is accustomed to lakes of blue and seas of turquoise. To gaze upon a lake of blood is to confront a primal question. Is this a symbol of life or a message of death? Perhaps it is precisely this paradox that makes Lake Natron one of the world's most captivating places, at once alluring and terrifying, scientific and mysterious. People come here to witness, to study, but also to feel the fragility of life in the face of nature. The red of Lake Natron is not just the color of algae, it is also the color of warning. This is not a place for humans, but a realm, governed by its own rules of survival, utterly apart from ours. When night falls, Lake Natron is enveloped in silence, with only the silver moonlight shimmering across its dark red surface. It is at this moment that the lake's deadly beauty becomes most profound. A world of contradictions unfolds, where petrified death exists alongside the thriving life of flamingos, where science offers explanations, but myths endure, and where humanity can only stand at the edge gazing from afar as mere witnesses to one of the universe's hidden secrets. At the foot of Mount Fuji, the sacred and majestic symbol of Japan, lies a forest whose lush beauty is entwined with a haunting, unsettling atmosphere. People call it by many names: Jukai, meaning sea of trees, but it is most infamously known as the suicide forest, Aokigahara. For centuries, this place has stood among the world's most mysterious locations, blending unique natural landscapes with eerie legends and countless unanswered stories. What makes Aokigahara truly terrifying is not only the number of people who come here to end their lives, but also the strange phenomena within the forest, most notably the disturbances in the magnetic field that render modern devices useless, causing people to lose their sense of direction and vanish into the silent sea of trees. This is why Aokigahara is more than just a natural landscape. It is also an unsolved scientific enigma. Do you believe the strange magnetic disturbances in Aokigahara are purely natural, caused by volcanic rock and minerals, or could there be something more mysterious behind them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Aokigahara grew upon solidified lava from a Mount Fuji eruption more than 200 years ago. This volcanic foundation created rugged terrain and barren soil where tree roots twist and intertwine, forming a natural labyrinth. Stepping into the forest feels like entering another world. Thick moss carpets the ground, towering trees stretch skyward, sunlight struggles to penetrate the dense canopy, and an absolute silence cloaks everything. The wind barely stirs, and no outside noise can seep in, leaving visitors with the sense of stepping into another dimension. The beauty of Aokigahara is both mesmerizing and unsettling. It feels almost too perfect, too still, making people doubt its reality. That silence fuels the countless rumors of wandering spirits and ghostly presences said to linger among the trees. If Aokigahara were only quiet and beautiful, it might never have earned its fearful reputation. Its most disturbing feature is the abnormal magnetic field. The volcanic bedrock beneath the forest is rich in magnetic minerals, creating an unstable magnetic environment strong enough to disrupt compasses, GPS systems, and electronic devices. It is said that after venturing only a few hundred meters inside, a compass needle begins to spin erratically, pointing in false directions. Navigation tools that should be a lifeline in the woods suddenly fail. Many visitors have felt sheer terror upon realizing that their maps phones and GPS units could no longer be trusted. Survey teams equipped with modern instruments have reported that the deeper they went, the weaker their signals became, until nothing was left but silence. This phenomenon has directly caused countless people to lose their way and never find the exit. The forest is vast, the trees grow densely, and the thick canopy blocks out the sky, making it impossible to navigate by the sun or stars. When tools fail, humans are left only with instinct, and in this labyrinth of trees, instinct often leads to despair. Scientists studying the phenomenon suggest that the lava rock still contains high amounts of magnetite, which may interfere with compass sensors. The unstable electromagnetic field could explain the malfunctions. Still, the true extent of its effects remains debated. Some argue that GPS and compasses don't always completely fail, but the psychological panic caused by their inaccuracy makes people more prone to losing their way. Whatever the truth, real-life accounts of becoming instantly disoriented have cemented this magnetic disturbance as the core of Aokigahara's fear, adding another layer of mystery to the forest. Aokigahara is also tied to its grim title, the Suicide Forest, as it records the highest number of suicides in Japan. Since the 1950s, the number of people ending their lives here has risen so dramatically that authorities eventually stopped releasing figures to avoid creating a contagion effect. Deeper inside the forest, haunting signs can be found bearing words like, "Life is a precious gift. Think of your family and children. Do not walk alone. Seek help." Yet tragedies persist, turning Aokigahara into a symbol of psychological suffering and despair. The abnormal magnetic field contributes to this reputation. Once inside, disoriented and cut off from the outside world, people can feel completely trapped, and their hopelessness intensifies. For generations, Japanese folklore has linked Aokigahara with the supernatural. It is said to be haunted by yurei, the restless souls of the dead who cannot pass on. In traditional belief, yurei appear in places heavy with sorrow, and Aokigahara, with its long history of suicides, is the perfect ground for them. Visitors claim to have heard desperate cries in the wind footsteps behind them, or the sense of being watched. Some recount that as their compass spun wildly, they glimpsed pale figures flickering between the trees. Science may explain some of the magnetic anomalies, but the psychological dread has turned Aokigahara into one of the most famously haunted forests on Earth. Perhaps the strangest thing about Aokigahara is its contradiction. From outside, it looks serene and green, a beautiful wilderness. Within one can find stunning ice caves, soft carpets of moss, and small wildlife thriving as if untouched by the forest's reputation. Stripped of its dark associations, it could easily be one of Japan's most enchanting natural reserves. But this beauty exists alongside an uncontrollable magnetic disturbance. Combined with its reputation as the suicide forest, it forms a paradoxical landscape, breathtaking yet terrifying. Aokigahara Forest, the suicide forest of Japan, is a strange intersection of nature and mystery, beauty and fear. What makes it unique is its magnetic anomaly, which can render compasses, GPS, and even human reason unreliable. This alone transforms the forest into a maze, without escape, cementing its chilling reputation worldwide. Even today, despite government efforts to reduce tragedies, Aokigahara remains a dark symbol of Japan and an unsolved scientific puzzle. Perhaps it is this blend of pristine beauty, absolute silence, and inexplicable magnetic disturbance that makes it one of the most extraordinary forests on Earth, one that humans long to explore, yet cannot mention without a shiver. In the heart of Axum, the ancient capital of one of Africa's most powerful empires, stands one of the most awe-inspiring and puzzling monuments, the split obelisk of Axum. This giant monolith, nearly 28 meters tall if intact, was carved from a single block of granite weighing between 120 and 160 tons. What makes it truly remarkable is not only its massive scale, but the fact that it is broken in two right at the site, and to this day, the exact cause of its collapse remains a mystery. If you had to guess, how do you think the ancient Axumites managed to move and raise such a massive monolith without modern technology? Could it have been ropes ramps? Or something we haven't even thought of yet? Drop your theory in the comments below. We're excited to hear what you think. The obelisk is intricately carved to mimic multi-story architecture with doorways, windows, and crossbeams, a unique symbol of Axumite culture. In this tradition, the dead were honored with monuments resembling the dwellings of the living, reflecting a belief that the afterlife was a continuation of earthly existence. The greatest mystery lies not in its appearance, but in how it was crafted and erected. How did the ancient Axumites, nearly 1600 years ago, manage to cut transport and attempt to raise such a colossal stone? They had no modern wheels, no cranes, and no lifting machines, yet they somehow managed to quarry the stone transported across rugged terrain and initiate the process of erecting it. Feats that seem to surpass the known technological capabilities of their era. Some theories suggest they used ropes, pulleys, inclined ramps, or wooden rollers, but no theory has been conclusively proven or successfully replicated. This remains one of the great unanswered questions in Ethiopian archaeology. The fractured state of the split obelisk makes its story even more enigmatic. It may have been the result of a technical error during erection, or perhaps a natural event, such as an earthquake. Regardless of the cause, the collapse stands as a historic testimony to the fine line between ancient greatness and human limitation. Remarkably, the split obelisk bears no inscriptions or symbols, an unusual absence for a monument likely linked to royal burials. There is no name, no date, no commemorative text. This profound silence carved in stone only deepens its mystery and leaves scholars with little to anchor their interpretations. Today, the split obelisk still rests quietly on the soil of Axum, a silent witness to the remarkable feats once achieved by humankind, and the many we still fail to understand. It stands not only as a cultural symbol, but also as an open question about the true technological capabilities of our ancestors. Have we truly uncovered the full extent of what ancient civilizations were capable of? Among the strangest archaeological discoveries ever found in the region of Nubia, located between modern-day southern Egypt and northern Sudan, the twin heads of Nubia stands out as a mysterious and controversial artifact with no widely accepted explanation to date. What do you think this artifact was meant to represent? Was it a symbol of unity, a forgotten ritual object, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. What makes this statue truly remarkable is its astonishing design, two completely different faces carved from the same single block of stone. These are not two separate pieces joined together. They form a continuous sculpture that leaves observers in awe. The left side of the stone exhibits familiar features of ancient Egyptian art: a refined face, straight nose, long almond-shaped eyes outlined with kohl, and a headpiece resembling that of a pharaoh. The expression exudes dignity, symmetry, and authority typical of depictions seen on Egyptian reliefs. but turning to the right side feels like entering a completely different world. This face has a broad nose, full lips, high forehead, and deeper set eyes, all typical features found in Nubian sculpture. Instead of the pharaoh's crown, it wears a different type of headgear or hairstyle resembling the royal figures uncovered in sites like Kerma or Meroe. The blending of two opposing artistic styles, differing in ethnicity, culture, and political symbolism, has sparked many theories. Could this be a symbol of a temporary unification between Egypt and Nubia, or the depiction of a mixed heritage ruler never recorded in historical texts? Perhaps it's a religious icon, embodying the concept of duality, protection and punishment, dominance and submission, common in ancient mythology. Regardless of the theory, the presence of these two starkly different styles on a single block of stone remains unprecedented in Egypto-Nubian archaeology. In addition, the statue carries no hieroglyphs, titles, or recognizable symbols, something highly unusual in ancient Egyptian culture, where inscriptions were essential. Its location on the border between the two civilizations further fuels the idea that it may have once marked a neutral zone or served as part of a forgotten ritual center. The stone itself is not commonly found in the local area. Researchers believe it may have been transported from another region, suggesting the sculpture held significant symbolic or ceremonial value, rather than being a mere local artistic piece. To this day, the twin heads of Nubia remains an unsolved mystery. It not only blurs the boundaries between two ancient civilizations, but also challenges every effort to classify or decode it. A solitary artifact, yet it may contain an untold chapter of history within its silent stone. Amid the ancient ruins of Hatusa, the once mighty capital of the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, lies a mystery that continues to baffle archaeologists, acoustic engineers, and modern visitors alike: the Whisper Walls. While Hatusa is well known for its massive scale, robust architecture, and elaborately carved stone gates, it is within the narrow, unassuming corridors that one of its strangest and least understood phenomena occurs. What do you think these Whisper Walls were really used for? A secret communication system, an ancient ritual space, or just a strange coincidence in architecture? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories. All it takes is to stand at one end of a stone wall and whisper a few words, and someone standing dozens of meters away at the other end can hear you perfectly clearly. Strangely, shouting or speaking loudly does not produce the same result. Only whispering, soft, gentle, and intimate, seems to pass effortlessly through the thick stone, gliding along the corridor, as if the walls themselves are secretly carrying the sound. This odd and specific behavior is what gave rise to the term whisper effect. The phenomenon feels like something out of an ancient acoustic illusion. It brings to mind famous modern examples, such as the Whispering Gallery in New York's Grand Central Terminal, or old churches built with deliberate sound reflection in mind. What makes Hatusa truly remarkable, however, is that this effect occurs in a structure over 3,000 years old, built by a civilization not previously known to possess advanced acoustic knowledge. No historical records explain the intended use of these whisper walls. They are not located in main ceremonial areas, nor do they show signs of being central to political or religious activity. The arrangement of stones, the shape of the hallway, and the slight curvature of the walls appear almost accidental, yet they create an eerily effective acoustic effect, as if it were a calculated design. This mystery has given rise to a number of theories. Did the Hittites accidentally create an acoustic masterpiece, or did they possess sophisticated knowledge about how sound moves through material and space? Some scholars suggest the corridors were used for secretive rituals where priests could communicate without others hearing. Others believe the whisper effect was meant to evoke a spiritual atmosphere, impressing onlookers during royal ceremonies, where a small voice could echo like the whispers of the gods. Still, all of these remain hypotheses. To this day, the whisper walls of Hatusa are an unresolved enigma. We don't know whether their acoustic properties were intentional or accidental, a feat of engineering, or a stroke of ancient magic. What is certain, however, is that this whispering phenomenon has turned Hatusa into one of the most fascinating archaeological sites in the world, a place where even a whisper can stir the imagination of modern science and mystery seekers alike. Hidden deep within the quiet inland regions of Sardinia, a land famous for its ancient stone structures and unsolved mysteries, lies a strange site that has puzzled scientists for years: the Mirror Pool. Its name comes from the lake's unnaturally perfect surface, like a natural mirror that reflects the sky and landscape even during windy conditions. But that's just the surface of the many oddities concealed beneath. What do you think causes the Mirror Pool's unnaturally perfect surface? Could it be a rare natural phenomenon, or something science hasn't discovered yet? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What makes the Mirror Pool truly remarkable is not its size or scenery, but the mysterious nature of the liquid inside. Geological and biological research teams who have studied the lake report that its water bears no resemblance to any known natural water. The sampled fluid isn't just more viscous than normal water, more like a mixture of water and oil. It also has a highly unusual chemical composition. Analysis shows the liquid contains rare trace metals, including elements seldom found in natural environments such as tellurium, ytterbium, and ruthenium metals that typically do not occur in the local geological conditions. Another surprising feature reported by biologists: not a single form of living microorganism has ever been found in the Mirror Pool's water. Even extremophiles, organisms that survive in acid springs or salt lakes, are completely absent. The water seems biologically inert, as if something within it actively eliminates all chances of cellular survival. Even more mysteriously, the lake's water can emit a soft, violet glow in complete darkness, despite no apparent light source. Monitoring equipment has detected a faint but consistent luminescence, a phenomenon still lacking a definitive explanation. Some theories suggest natural photoluminescence caused by metallic molecules, but the glow's stability and intensity are too consistent to be explained by random chemical reactions. The lake has no visible inflow or outflow, yet its water level remains stable year-round, even through droughts and heavy rains. Moreover, the Mirror Pool is located near ancient Nuragic ruins, a prehistoric Sardinian culture known for sacred wells and stone towers. Some scholars speculate that the lake may have served in rituals involving reflection, death, and the afterlife. Even though the Mirror Pool is clearly visible from high ground and aerial views, no historical maps mention its existence before the 20th century. Was it deliberately left out of ancient records, or did it appear only recently, perhaps due to an unknown subterranean phenomenon? Whatever the answer, the Mirror Pool continues to guard secrets that modern science has yet to unlock. And perhaps it's this very lack of explanation that makes it so deeply captivating. The unmelting snow cave of Kamchatka, also known as Russia's Eternal Snow Cave, is one of the rarest and most mysterious natural phenomena on Earth. Hidden along the slopes of the Mutnovsky volcano in the Kamchatka Peninsula, a region famous for its intense geothermal activity and untamed wilderness, this cave leaves every first-time visitor astonished in the midst of warm summer weather, where outside temperatures can reach 25 degrees Celsius, lies a snow cave that refuses to melt. What do you think could be behind this strange phenomenon? Is it just a rare climatic coincidence? Or could there be something deeper going on beneath the surface? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This isn't freshly fallen snow or ice left over from a long winter. It's a thick, cold, and stable snow dome that endures year-round. Experts believe that the extreme climate conditions combined with unusual geothermal structures have created a unique microclimate. Heat from underground rises up and flows through the ice layers, forming a spacious hollow inside, but it's not strong enough to completely destroy the snowy ceiling. As a result, a bizarre natural snow cave forms where snow survives not just through winter, but also spring and summer, defying sunlight and the increasingly warmer temperatures caused by climate change. What makes the cave even more surreal is the scene inside. The ceiling is made of thin, transparent ice, allowing sunlight to filter through and bathe the interior in an eerie emerald glow. Entering the cave feels like stepping into an alien world, cold, shadowy, yet softly lit by a strange, tranquil light. Wisps of mist rising from geothermal cracks add a mystical atmosphere, prompting many to describe the place as a frozen gateway to the heavens. Despite its breathtaking beauty, Kamchatka's snow cave is not easy to reach. There are no official tourist routes leading there, and the icy ceiling can collapse at any moment. Only seasoned explorers or daring photographers attempt to step inside. But this very danger seems to enhance its allure, like a hidden emerald gem in the wilds of Kamchatka, challenging both time and nature itself. Some scientists believe that the cold, humid, sulfur-rich and mineral-heavy environment inside the cave is ideal for studying extremophiles organisms that survive in harsh conditions. If microscopic life exists here, it could offer clues about life in extreme environments similar to what's been found beneath Antarctica's ice sheets or even on the icy moons of distant planets. The unmelting snow cave of Kamchatka is not just a natural wonder, it's a reminder that Earth still holds many unsolved mysteries. And sometimes, even during the height of summer, there are places of eternal frost quietly defying the heat of a warming world. The burnt map of Timgad is one of the most mysterious and controversial artifacts ever mentioned in alternative archaeology circles. Allegedly discovered among the ruins of the ancient city of Timgad, one of the most well-planned Roman settlements in North Africa, this strange map has raised a host of questions that go far beyond conventional historical understanding. What do you think this mysterious map really represents? Is it just an ancient fire-damaged artifact, or could it be a clue to something far more hidden beneath the surface? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. Charred black marks cover much of its surface, yet what's astonishing is that the map's lines, featuring the classic Roman grid pattern, remain perfectly visible. No one can fully explain how this object could have survived such intense heat while retaining such fine detail. Some theories suggest it was made using deep carving techniques on non-flammable material, or perhaps with a special compound whose formula has long been lost. Strangely, the real shock isn't the burn marks, but the layout itself. When compared to the official city plan of Timgad, which follows a precise Roman grid system, researchers noticed many inconsistencies. Certain streets, buildings, and orientations depicted on the map don't exist in the excavated city we know today. Some of the grid lines appear to connect to unknown areas or places that shouldn't be there at all, as if they represent an entirely different architectural layer possibly buried beneath the current Timgad ruins. This has led to the bold theory that the map doesn't depict the Timgad we know, but perhaps a city built before it, or even a parallel urban layout, never recorded in historical texts. If true, Timgad might just be the outermost shell of a far more complex buried legacy. Some independent scholars argue that this isn't a practical urban map at all, but rather a symbolic map, one that represents an ancient knowledge system, a religious ritual layout, or even an astronomical diagram. This idea gains traction, considering the complete lack of any labels, inscriptions, or place names on the map, highly unusual for Roman cartography, which was known for detailed annotation. No language, no numbers, no identifiers, only lines and geometric forms, as if meant to convey an abstract message to future generations. Unfortunately, the burnt map of Timgad does not appear in any official archaeological reports. Whether it truly exists remains a huge question, but if it does, this charred map might be a clue to a hidden city buried beneath Timgad, or perhaps even evidence of a lost civilization that history has chosen to forget. Amid the vibrant rose-red cliffs of Petra, the legendary ancient city carved deep into the sandstone mountains of Jordan, stands a structure that few notice, yet holds an astonishing mystery: the Silent Tower. Unlike the ornate temples and elaborately carved tombs scattered throughout Petra, this structure rises tall and bare in the ancient landscape, like a nameless ghost in the forgotten memory of the lost city. What do you think the Silent Tower was meant for? A forgotten ritual site? A place of solitude? Or something we haven't imagined yet? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. The tower bears no carvings on its exterior, something nearly unheard of in Nabatean architecture. No patterns, no inscriptions, no religious symbols, only smooth, towering walls of stone, visually silent in every sense. This emptiness enhances the sense that the tower is a being detached from both space and time. Its most extraordinary feature lies within. As you pass through the narrow entrance and stand at the center of the structure, you're immediately struck by a chilling phenomenon. Sound disappears. Your voice doesn't echo. A clap sounds like wind brushing stone. Every sound becomes quieter, strangled, and vanishes quickly. Some visitors describe the sensation as being pulled into a void. You speak, but hear almost nothing. Acoustic researchers suggest this could be the result of a unique geometric design combined with the sandstone material, producing a natural sound dampening effect rarely found in ancient architecture. But the real question is, did the Nabateans intend this? And if they did, for what purpose? There's no evidence the tower was ever used as a tomb, a temple, or an observatory. It lacks windows, staircases, and doesn't align with any celestial axis, unlike many other Petra structures which are precisely oriented to the sun or stars. Even more puzzling, this building is never mentioned in any ancient texts, not by the Nabateans, nor later by the Romans who took over Petra. It's as if it never existed in the written history, a complete void. Perhaps the Silent Tower was never built to display beauty or to honor gods, not something to look at, but something to feel. A space where sound doesn't exist, where silence becomes a vivid, almost jarring experience. In an ancient world filled with ritual and noise, this may have been a place where people came, not to speak, but to confront themselves in absolute silence. Hidden among thick mists and the dense jungles of Meghalaya, one of the wettest places on Earth, lies a strange and enigmatic structure: stone steps that lead to nowhere. Locals call them the Blind Steps, a name as mysterious as their purpose. These ancient stone staircases stand isolated amidst the wild, as if abandoned by both time and memory. There are no signs, no temples, no nearby villages or ruins, only solitary stone steps, sometimes standing upright, sometimes crooked and slanted ending, abruptly against a rock wall or suspended over empty space. What do you think these mysterious steps were originally built for? A forgotten temple, a sacred path, or something else entirely beyond our understanding? Share your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. What truly puzzles researchers is this: no one knows what these steps were meant for. They don't connect any known settlements, don't lead to sacred sites or living spaces, and serve no obvious agricultural function. Some initial theories suggested they were part of an ancient trail network, but surveys of the surrounding terrain revealed no connecting paths. In fact, some of the steps curve in odd, impractical directions, almost as if they were intentionally designed to be difficult to climb. The deeper people dig into this mystery, the murkier it becomes. There are no historical records, no specific folk tales, and no archaeological evidence linking these structures to any known cultural practices. The Khasi people, an indigenous group, long native to this region, are famous for their living root bridges, yet they have no known tradition of building large-scale stone stairways. Thus, the question remains hanging in the air: who built them and why? One cannot ignore a surprising fact. Despite the harsh climate with rainfall levels among the highest in the world, these steps have endured for centuries. They are not slippery as one might expect, and moss does not blanket them like it does other stones in the region. Could ancient builders have used a unique material or technique? Or perhaps these steps weren't made for modern humans at all, but for a long-forgotten purpose that no longer makes sense in today's world. Some believe these steps are remnants of a vanished civilization, one that left nothing behind but these wandering footprints. Others imagine a sacred ritual where people ascended the steps not to reach a physical destination, but to cross a spiritual boundary. Yet without more concrete evidence, the blind steps of Meghalaya remain a whisper from the past. No answers, no destination, only footprints, fading into the haze of forgotten history. Beneath the deep sands of the Taklamakan Desert, known as the Dead Sea of China, lies one of the greatest unresolved enigmas of the modern age: the sealed dome. A perfectly shaped and completely sealed dome structure hidden underground. Its discovery shocked the archaeological community and challenged our current understanding of ancient construction techniques. What do you think could be buried beneath the sands of Taklamakan? A lost civilization, an ancient vault, or something even more mysterious? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories. Through satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar, researchers detected a massive spherical structure, nearly 100 meters in diameter, with a surface that strongly reflects radar signals, suggesting it may be made from an unidentified alloy or a synthetic material with high electrical conductivity. The most shocking aspects include a completely sealed structure with no doors, cracks, or entrances. Near-perfect symmetry, as if it were created using ultra-precise technology. No signs of degradation or damage despite being buried for millennia beneath the desert. The level of sophistication and durability is so far beyond anything attributed to known ancient civilizations that it defies classification. This is considered the most astonishing and mysterious aspect of the sealed dome. With a size comparable to a football field and buried deep beneath the sand, all direct attempts to access the structure have failed. Theories about its purpose range from a vault of ancient knowledge, a prehistoric astronomical observatory, an abandoned extraterrestrial structure, Yet none of these theories have sufficient evidence to be widely accepted. Unlike most ancient sites that are accompanied by legends or historical records, the sealed dome is not mentioned in any texts, folklore, or cultural traditions of the region. This complete historical silence makes its origins all the more frightening and incomprehensible. Some unofficial reports claim electronic devices malfunction when brought near the dome. Fluctuating magnetic fields and mild radiation have been detected in the subsoil. There may be a sealed energy source inside, possibly an ancient form of technology or some kind of autonomous system. All of this only adds to the thick veil of mystery surrounding the structure. To this day, no organization or nation has announced plans to open or excavate the structure. However, scientists continue to monitor and debate its origins. Many believe that if the dome is ever uncovered, it could completely alter our understanding of history, science, and ancient technology. A mystery buried in silence, but perhaps a missing piece of the past we've never fully understood. Hidden deep within the frozen valleys of Ladakh, nestled among towering cliffs where few humans have ever set foot, the six-faced idol of Ladakh stands as one of the most enigmatic and controversial artifacts known to humanity. It is not displayed in any museum, lacks any signposts or markings, and almost no one dares to reveal its exact location. This statue exists as a living symbol of what modern science has yet to comprehend. If this statue truly exists, hidden away from the world, what do you think it represents? A forgotten civilization, an alien artifact, or something even stranger? Drop your theories in the comments. We're curious what you believe. The most striking feature is its 6 carved faces, each looking in a different direction: east, west, south, north, skyward, and downward. This design is not merely artistic. It evokes ancient cosmological concepts of omnipresence, as if the statue was created to observe every corner of both the physical and metaphysical worlds. However, what astonishes researchers the most is the material from which the statue is made. Its surface is a polished metallic black, smooth like volcanic rock, yet shows no signs of weathering. Microscopic samples reveal a mineral structure strikingly similar to tektite, a rare substance typically formed when a meteorite violently strikes the Earth. The mystery deepens. Ladakh has no known deposits of such material. There are no signs of transportation mining or extraterrestrial impacts nearby. This presents a profound paradox. The material is not just unusual, it is entirely untraceable. Some propose a bold theory that the statue might be an extraterrestrial relic or the product of an ancient civilization that once knew how to extract resources from sources we have yet to understand. It hints at a level of technological advancement far beyond anything we associate with prehistoric humanity. Another inexplicable phenomenon is that the statue consistently emits a gentle warmth even when surrounded by snow and ice. Even at 20 degrees, touching it feels like placing your hand on softly heated stone. There is no known heat source, no electrical input, and no detectable radiation, yet the warmth persists, defying conventional physics. Furthermore, all attempts to capture it on film have failed. Cameras' glitch files become corrupted, or images show nothing at all. To this day, no verified photo of the statue has been made public, adding layers to its mystique. Local villagers simply say, "It was here long before our ancestors were born." There are no documents, no inscriptions, just oral legends passed through generations. Could this be a relic from an alien civilization, or evidence that Earth once harbored cultures with materials and technologies we've never imagined? The 6-faced idol still stands silent amidst the snowy peaks, an unanswered question haunting both science and history. Beneath the surface of Malta, a land once at the crossroads of many ancient civilizations, there exists a mysterious legend about a strange structure known as the Glass Maze beneath Malta. Though no official archaeological evidence has confirmed its existence, stories passed down through centuries have made this place one of the most enigmatic and controversial sites in the Mediterranean. Do you think the legend of the Glass Maze beneath Malta is real, or just a myth that's been exaggerated over time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Are we overlooking a monument beyond imagination, or simply chasing a mirage? What makes this maze especially haunting isn't its name, but rather the descriptions of its bizarre architecture, a three-dimensional labyrinth built with walls as transparent as glass, reflecting a dim, untraceable light. According to unofficial witnesses, ranging from local villagers to ancient diggers and even secretive explorers, the maze is not just a series of corridors, it's an intricate multi-level system with spiral paths, dead ends, gravity-defying staircases, and most notably, every partition is made from an unusual translucent material that shows no signs of cracking or erosion over time. Some accounts describe how anyone entering the maze without marking equipment would quickly become completely disoriented, as reflections from the glass-like walls create spatial illusions, making every pathway eerily identical. Some have compared the structure to a crystal trap designed to confine or test the intellect of those who enter. What's most mysterious is that the material used for the maze walls is unknown to any ancient civilization. It is not normal glass, it doesn't shatter on impact, doesn't scratch, and doesn't react to heat or magnetic fields. Some speculate it could be a form of high-tech synthetic silica, which couldn't have existed in prehistoric times, raising bold theories of alien technology or an ultra-advanced lost civilization that once inhabited Malta. To this day, no confirmed entrance to the maze has been found. Some speculate it may lie beneath the hypogeum of Hal Saflieni, Malta's famed underground structure, which itself is surrounded by supernatural lore. However, no excavation has uncovered any of the glass walls described in the stories. Beyond the structure itself, some witnesses claim to have seen a faint, flickering purple light emanating from within, despite no obvious source of illumination. Some believe that something may still be operating or guarding the maze. This only deepens the aura of mystery surrounding the site. With all these strange elements, from its complex layout to its unknown materials, the glass maze beneath Malta remains an unsolved mystery. If it truly exists, it could serve as a key to rewriting human history, or as the first tangible evidence of intervention from an intelligence far beyond that of ancient mankind. The gravity wells of Mount Kailash have long fascinated explorers, scientists, and spiritual seekers alike, not just for the mountain's religious significance, but for the strange and unexplained phenomena reported in its vicinity. Among the most intriguing of these is the so-called gravitational anomaly, where conventional instruments behave as if reality itself is being distorted. What do you think about the gravitational anomalies around Mount Kailash? Could it be just a technical glitch, or is there truly some form of energy science has yet to explain? Share your thoughts or theories in the comments below. Travelers and pilgrims approaching the mountain have repeatedly reported that their GPS devices suddenly lose signal altimeters, register impossible shifts in elevation, and even compasses spin erratically as if the magnetic field is twisting in ways that defy known physics. This is no casual fluke. The inconsistencies are so specific and so localized that some researchers believe anomalous gravitational or geomagnetic forces may be present in the area. It's as if a hidden force is warping space and direction, creating what some have come to call a gravity well. Unlike true gravity wells in astronomy, which refer to the intense pull of mass from planets or stars, the term here is used more metaphorically to describe the way space-time and physical orientation seem to become unstable near Kailash. Some visitors say that as they approach certain zones, they experience lightheadedness, confusion, or loss of balance even without altitude sickness. Others describe a sense of being pulled, not just physically, but psychologically, into the aura of the mountain. This has given rise to countless theories. Some suggest naturally occurring electromagnetic vortices, while others speak of geological anomalies beneath the mountain, or even undiscovered mineral formations with unusual magnetic properties. There are fringe theories too, proposing that Mount Kailash sits at the intersection of ancient ley lines, or that it houses an unknown form of ancient technology beneath its perfectly pyramidal shape. But what truly amplifies the mystery is the fact that no one has ever reached the summit of Kailash. Every expedition has been mysteriously halted either by sudden weather shifts, unexplained illness, or an overwhelming sense that they're not meant to continue. Locals believe the mountain is sacred and should never be climbed, and perhaps the mountain enforces that belief on its own. The strange behaviors of instruments, the disorientation of seasoned climbers, and the collective reluctance of even the most advanced explorers all seem to orbit a single truth. Mount Kailash does not obey the rules of ordinary geography. Whether the cause is magnetic, gravitational, spiritual, or something far beyond our understanding, one thing is clear: the gravity wells of Mount Kailash remain one of Earth's most enigmatic forces. In caves that remain frozen year-round in the Arctic, where the wind can cut like knives and the sun disappears for months, researchers have discovered something no one expected: traces of fire. Blackened scorch marks on stone ceilings, thin layers of soot on rugged cave walls, and even remnants resembling charcoal, all found in places that show no signs of present life. But what do you think? If fire needs people, then who or what left these marks in a place no human was supposed to reach? Could it be ancient explorers we've never discovered? Or do you think nature has ways of mimicking us? Drop your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you explain this Arctic mystery. What makes these findings so controversial is not the fire itself, but the fact that it exists without any accompanying evidence of human presence. Normally, when fire is found in ancient caves, archaeologists expect to uncover stone tools, bone fragments, cut marks, or at least fire pits filled with ash. But in these Arctic caves, all that remains are fire marks, nothing more, nothing less. No human bones, no tools, no footprints, no artifacts. Nothing to suggest that anyone was ever there, let alone that they had built and maintained a fire. This creates a strange paradox. Fire is usually one of the clearest indicators of human activity, and yet here, fire appears without any trace of the people who supposedly made it. Scientific analyses suggest the burn marks could be tens of thousands of years old, a time when humans were not thought to have reached or lived in such frozen remote regions of the Arctic. Could this be evidence of an unknown ancient civilization, or the result of a natural process we have yet to understand? Some theories suggest the burn marks might have come from chemical reactions, methane gas, explosions under rare conditions, or even lightning strikes in underground cave systems. But all of these remain speculation, none strong enough to replace the central haunting question: if there were no people, then who lit the first flame? Amidst the barren, desolate desert of the Sinai Peninsula lies one of the strangest and most inexplicable structures of ancient humanity: the massive spiral wells, commonly referred to as the spiral wells of Sinai. Unlike the typical image of ancient wells as simple cylindrical holes for drawing water, these are composed of perfect spiral paths winding around a central axis and descending deep into the earth, forming what appears to be a giant helical staircase carved directly into the desert floor. The geometric precision of these structures has baffled modern researchers. Not only are they nearly perfectly symmetrical, but their spirals are also evenly spaced with just the right slope to allow a person to walk barefoot downwards, as if someone had calculated every step in advance. This is not something easily achieved, especially if the wells were constructed thousands of years ago without the aid of modern machinery. What do you think? If these spiral wells were truly built thousands of years ago, how could ancient builders achieve such perfect symmetry and engineering precision without modern tools? Do you believe they served a practical purpose, or were they something more mysterious? Share your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think this ancient design might have meant. Even more mysterious is the fact that no known culture or ancient civilization in the Sinai region has claimed or is associated with these structures. There are no inscriptions, no reliefs, and no traces of human settlement around the wells, as if they simply belong to no one. Various theories have been proposed. Some suggest they were ritual sites built by an ancient priesthood. Others believe they were astronomical tools or had a spiritual function. Some fringe scholars even argue that these wells may be evidence of a lost civilization, one with engineering capabilities far ahead of what we currently know. As for their purpose, the spiral wells raise many questions. With their deep, narrow, and winding design, and without signs of regular usage, it's hard to believe they were built primarily for water collection. Furthermore, their locations are often isolated and far from any known ancient settlements situated in harsh, dry terrain, raising the question, who would go through such effort to build massive structures in places where no one lived? Some wells also feature strange, rhythmic carvings along the spiral walls, resembling symbols, numerical systems, or possibly undeciphered astronomical codes. These markings only deepen the mystery, making the structures feel like a kind of buried stone machine, long forgotten. It's still unclear whether these were meant for navigation marking celestial events or part of some complex measurement system used by their builders. Ultimately, despite the lack of clear answers regarding their origin or purpose, the spiral wells of Sinai continue to quietly challenge everything we think we know about ancient engineering. They stand as a powerful reminder that sometimes history doesn't leave behind clear records, only traces waiting for those curious enough to look deeper. Perhaps structures like these are the missing keys to a chapter in human history that has yet to be written. The Iron Seeds of Anatolia are among the most bizarre and hotly debated archaeological findings ever uncovered in the ancient lands of the Middle East. At first glance, these tiny objects appear to be nothing more than natural pebbles or seeds, measuring just a few centimeters in size, with smooth, rounded, and tapered shapes resembling plant seeds or polished stones. What do you think these iron seeds really are? Could they be natural formations, or evidence of something far more advanced? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories. What truly astonishes scientists, however, is their composition. These seeds are made of nearly pure iron, with a purity exceeding 99%, something that ancient humans should not have been capable of producing using any known metallurgical methods of that era. Historically, refining iron to such purity requires extremely high temperatures and complex impurity removal technologies that only emerged long after the Iron Age began. Yet these iron seeds were discovered in soil layers dating to approximately 2500 to 3000 BCE, which means they predate the officially recognized start of ironworking in Anatolia by at least a millennium. This raises a monumental question: who created these ultra-pure iron seeds, and how? More intriguingly, the surfaces of these seeds are smooth and show no signs of rust or corrosion, typical of ancient iron. Even more puzzling is the fact that they bear no marks of forging, casting, or heat treatment. Some experts initially proposed they could be made of meteoric iron metal that fell from space, but detailed analysis showed their elemental composition does not match any known meteorite samples. A few of the seeds exhibit strong magnetic fields, almost like miniature magnets with an internal structure, prompting speculation that they may be parts of an unknown machine or lost technological artifact. No tools or metallurgical facilities were found near the discovery site, which has led many to wonder, are we looking at remnants of an ancient, erased technological civilization? Despite numerous theories ranging from meteorites and rare geological events to extraterrestrial artifacts, the existence of these seed-shaped ultra-pure iron objects remains unexplained. They stand as evidence that there are still vast gaps in our understanding of the ancient world, gaps that may very well challenge the very foundation of human technological history. Hidden deep within the majestic Andes Mountains of South America, archaeologists have discovered a series of enigmatic vertical shafts, now commonly referred to as the vertical shafts of the Andes. These structures bear no resemblance to any other known archaeological site. They are perfectly cylindrical holes, with nearly uniform diameters from top to bottom, and plunge dozens of meters into the ground. Their inner walls are smooth and vertical, as if drilled by modern machinery, something that has puzzled researchers since ancient civilizations were not known to possess such advanced construction techniques. What do you think could have created these perfectly cylindrical shafts high in the Andes? Do they point to a lost technology or something we haven't even imagined yet? Share your theory in the comments below. Yet what truly perplexes researchers is not the method of construction, but the complete lack of a known purpose. These shafts do not lead to any chambers, tunnels, or underground structures, unlike traditional wells, tombs, or ancient mines. No traces of human remains, funerary objects, pottery, metalwork, or treasure have ever been found. Some shafts are even sealed at the bottom with heavy stone slabs or gravel, as if deliberately hiding something. But when opened, they reveal nothing but empty space. To add to the mystery, these shafts are found in extremely remote areas, particularly on the arid Altiplano Plateau, at elevations exceeding 3,500 meters, where no ancient settlements or long-term human activity have been detected. Their isolated placement makes theories such as water wells, storage pits, or ritual sites increasingly implausible. Even more baffling, there are no records, oral, written, or mythological within the Inca civilization, or any preceding cultures that mention their existence. Local communities living nearby today also have no knowledge of who built them or why. Numerous theories have been proposed. Some suggest the shafts were astronomical markers possibly used to track the sun or stars. Others speculate that they were remnants of ancient religious rituals involving offerings or sacrifices. Still others believe they were experimental mining shafts from a forgotten civilization. But all remain mere conjecture. To this day, no concrete evidence has emerged to support any of these ideas. For now, the vertical shafts of the Andes remain beyond the grasp of modern science. They stand as unanswered questions, challenging our understanding of ancient architecture, technology, and purpose. Perhaps, just perhaps, they hint at a lost knowledge or intention from a time and culture that we no longer comprehend. In the remote canyons of Turkmenistan, researchers have uncovered a strange and unprecedented phenomenon: a long rock wall covered in thousands of fragments that look exactly like human or animal teeth, embedded tightly into layers of ancient sedimentary rock. Visually, it resembles a wall constructed entirely of real teeth, complete with realistic size, shape, and even root structures. These teeth are arranged in distinct rows, creating the impression that some intelligent force deliberately placed them there. How do you explain a wall of teeth without a single skull or bone? Could this be evidence of a creature we've never discovered, or something even stranger? Share your theory in the comments below. We're genuinely curious what you think. Even more intriguing initial chemical analyses suggest that these are not fully fossilized. Some samples still retain signs of real dental enamel biological proteins and dentin structures completely different from typical minerals or classic fossilization. This makes it difficult for scientists to dismiss the possibility that these teeth were once biologically active. However, the most mysterious and controversial aspect, the very reason this wall remains almost impossible to explain, is the complete absence of any skull's bones or corresponding body parts. If these are real teeth, they must have belonged to one or more enormous creatures or beings with extraordinarily unusual tooth patterns. Yet to this day, not a single fossil fragment, no matter how small, has been found to directly connect with the teeth. No jaws, no skulls, no vertebrae, just a wall covered in teeth, as if they had grown straight out of the rock itself. This raises a number of haunting questions. Could this be the trace of an ancient unknown creature with a completely alien body structure, or is it the result of some natural process we still don't understand, one capable of forming tooth-like structures with uncanny accuracy? So far, no historical records or local legends mention this wall. It appears in neither ancient writings from Turkmen nomads nor in Soviet-era expedition journals. The total absence of cultural or archaeological references only deepens the mystery. Whether a natural phenomenon, a biological remnant, or a forgotten artifact of an unknown civilization, the teeth wall continues to defy all scientific explanation. And until an answer is found, if one even exists, it will remain one of the greatest enigmas hidden among the desolate mountain ranges of Turkmenistan. Hidden deep in the mountains of West Java, Indonesia, the hill known as Gunung Padang was once thought to be an ordinary archaeological site, until researchers uncovered a shocking truth beneath the grass. And natural rock lies not just remnants of ancient structures, but a massive inverted pyramid-shaped construction stretching dozens of meters underground and potentially over 20,000 years old. But what do you think if Gunung Padang really hides a 20,000-year-old inverted pyramid beneath its surface? Could this change everything we thought we knew about the origins of civilization? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories. This is a staggering number, far surpassing any known man-made structure in official history. The Egyptian pyramids, often seen as the pinnacle of ancient engineering, are only about 500 years old. But if geophysical surveys at Gunung Padang are accurate, then humans in Southeast Asia may have built a large-scale structure over 15,000 years before the rise of the Sumerian civilization during the end of the Ice Age, when most of humanity was still living as hunter-gatherers. Rediscovered in 1914, but only gaining serious attention in the early 21st century, Gunung Padang quickly became a hotspot for scientific debate. Ground-penetrating radar, GPR, seismic studies, and core drilling analysis revealed that the site contains multiple layers of purposefully arranged stone blocks, not naturally occurring formations. Some researchers believe the deepest layer may have been constructed between 16,000 and 20,000 years ago, with later civilizations adding layers on top over many millennia. If this proves true, Gunung Padang would become the oldest man-made structure on Earth, surpassing Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which dates back 12,000 years and currently holds the record. This would force archaeologists to reconsider the entire timeline of human civilization and the possibility that advanced societies may have existed long before recorded history began. However, the discovery has not been without controversy. Many mainstream scholars argue that the dating methods used are unreliable and that some features of the site may result from natural geological processes. Still, independent researchers continue to search for evidence, believing that this is not merely a hill, but the exposed tip of a giant, inverted pyramid, buried deep beneath the earth, carrying the forgotten legacy of a lost civilization, never documented in history. If confirmed, the existence of a structure like Gunung Padang would not only change how we view the past, but also suggest the possibility of long-lost civilizations that once flourished and disappeared before modern humanity had the chance to record their names. It would compel us to rewrite history and open a new chapter in understanding the true origins of human civilization. Amid the rugged mountains and ancient limestone caves of Papua New Guinea, archaeologists uncovered a baffling phenomenon that has left the scientific world puzzled. Human skeletons with an unusual blue coloration, now referred to as the blue bones of Papua. Unlike anything previously recorded, these bones do not only exhibit a strange hue, but also raise a host of unanswered questions. What do you think could explain the eerie blue color of these bones? A rare natural reaction? An ancient ritual long forgotten, or something even stranger? Share your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Initial chemical analyses suggest that the blue coloration may result from the accumulation of rare metals like copper or cobalt within the bone tissue, an extremely rare occurrence in human archaeology. However, the strange part is that there are no known natural mineral deposits of these elements near the discovery site. This raises a provocative question. Could this be the result of an ancient body preservation ritual, a technique never before documented? The burial positions of the skeletons are equally strange. Many of the remains were arranged in a fetal position, facing the rising sun, potentially a symbolic gesture of rebirth. Grave goods included seashells, bird feathers, and colored stone tools, indicating that these were not ordinary burials, but part of a solemn spiritual or religious ritual. But what astonished researchers the most, and remains the centerpiece of this mystery, is this: there is no known surviving indigenous culture in Papua that ever recorded or practiced such a burial custom. No myths, no oral traditions, no similar rituals, complete silence. This has led to a bold hypothesis. There may have once existed a long-lost civilization possessing advanced biochemical knowledge and ritual sophistication far beyond its time. These people may have used special herbs compounds or unique techniques to treat the dead, altering the chemical structure of the bones in a way modern science has yet to replicate. From the bizarre blue pigmentation to the unusual burial methods and the total absence of any related cultural traces, it all adds up to a mystery unlike any other. The blue bones of Papua are not merely an archaeological oddity, but rather a reminder of the forgotten chapters of human history that may be lost forever. The rock drum of Sahel is one of the most puzzling archaeological phenomena ever recorded on the edge of the Sahara Desert. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than a large solitary rock sitting in the middle of a barren landscape, with no signs of past human activity nearby. But what astonishes scientists is its ability to produce sounds like a real drum when struck. The resulting echoes are clear, deep, and resonant, comparable to a professionally crafted instrument, even though the rock itself is completely solid, with no hollow cavities or visible acoustic structures. What do you think could explain this? Is it just a rare natural coincidence? Or could it be evidence of ancient technology we haven't yet understood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. What baffles archaeologists the most, and remains the subject of ongoing debate, is the rock's surface. Unlike what one would expect from a ceremonial object or ancient musical instrument, this rock shows no signs of carving, chiseling, or human modification of any kind. There are no tool marks, no engravings, and no evidence left behind by stone or metal implements. The surface is relatively smooth, but entirely devoid of clear indicators that it was shaped by human hands, as if nature itself had somehow crafted it. This raises a host of strange theories. Could it be an extremely rare natural formation, or is it a relic left behind by an unknown civilization that has never been documented in history? Adding to the mystery is the rock's location. It stands alone in the middle of the Sahel, far from any known ancient settlements. No pottery shards, no tools, no burial sites, nothing to suggest past human habitation or activity. And with an estimated weight of over 4 tons, it's extremely unlikely that ancient people could have transported it there without leaving a trace. The question remains, if someone did create it, who were they and why place it in such a remote, desolate area? Modern acoustic researchers have analyzed the rock's sound profile and discovered that it resonates at specific frequencies, remarkably similar to that of traditional animal skin drums. The stone material itself is also not commonly found in the Sahel region, further fueling speculation that it may have been transported from elsewhere, or that it's the product of some unknown technique or technology. To this day, all explanations remain speculative. The rock stands silently in place, defying logic and challenging every attempt to unravel its secrets. Until a groundbreaking discovery is made, the rock drum of Sahel will continue to exist as an unanswered question, perhaps a bizarre natural formation, or the lost legacy of a civilization erased from history. The colorless flame in Iranian shrines is one of the most mysterious and controversial phenomena in the Middle East, especially found in ancient Zoroastrian temples in Iran. This is not the kind of fire we encounter in everyday life. It's described as nearly transparent, lacking any distinct color, not visibly radiant, yet it still emits heat and can ignite flammable objects. Because of this, many refer to it as a flame from another world, something beyond the boundaries of known physical science. What do you think this mysterious flame really is? Is it an undiscovered natural phenomenon, a forgotten ancient technology, or something beyond science altogether? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. One of the most intriguing aspects for scientists is that the source of this flame's fuel remains unknown. In many instances, the flame has burned continuously for decades or even centuries, yet no pipes, fuel tanks, or any energy delivery mechanisms have been found anywhere near the shrine. Even more astonishing, despite using advanced gas detection equipment, during modern surveys, scientists have failed to detect any clear gas flow feeding the flame, as if its fuel came from another dimension or from a method of delivery long lost to time. Some theories suggest the existence of underground natural gas channels carrying ultra-pure gases such as hydrogen or methane without impurities that escape at a stable pressure and burn with an almost invisible flame. However, this still doesn't explain how the flame remains steady, never flickers, doesn't dim or brighten, and seems unaffected by weather conditions. The ability to sustain such a stable burn with no signs of modern engineering support has led many to believe this might be a case of lost ancient technology or even a supernatural phenomenon tied to religious belief. For pilgrims and Zoroastrian believers, this flame is not merely a physical occurrence, it is a sacred symbol of truth, divine light, and the connection between humans and higher beings. And as long as science has no definitive answer, the colorless flame continues to burn, an unsolved mystery deep in the ancient deserts of Iran. The Sun-Cut Valley in Patagonia is one of the most peculiar and intriguing geological mysteries in southern South America. Nestled deep within the wilds of Patagonia, this valley draws attention, not only for its untouched beauty, but also for a strange, vertical cut that runs through a solid rock mountain range. From a distance, the fissure appears like a perfect slice down the mountainside, evoking the image of a sun blade from above, which is exactly how it earned its name. What do you think could have caused such a perfect vertical cut in solid rock in such a remote and untouched part of Patagonia? Is it a rare natural event, or could there be something more mysterious behind it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This cut has an unusual shape, perfectly straight from the summit to the base, almost vertically parallel. Even more remarkably, it aligns almost perfectly with the east-west axis, which means that on the spring and autumn equinoxes, sunlight shines directly through the entire length of the fissure. This stunning sight gives the impression that the crack was deliberately aligned like an ancient astronomical structure reminiscent of temples at Machu Picchu or Stonehenge. However, the most baffling and also the most astonishing feature is that there are no signs of human intervention. No drilling marks, no evidence of blasting, and no familiar mechanical erosion can be found. The surrounding rock layers show no signs of crumbling or unusual pressure. The edges of the cut are unnaturally smooth, as if they had been separated by a force beyond our current understanding. No blade, no machinery, no modern tool could have made this cut so discreetly and so perfectly. This has sparked countless questions. If it wasn't made by human hands, then by whom or by what? Some theories suggest it could be the result of an extremely rare geological event, perhaps a fault line split under special conditions. Yet to this day, no scientific model has been able to recreate anything like the precise features seen in Sun-Cut Valley. If not natural, then who or what created it? In addition, mild magnetic anomalies have been recorded around the site, and some visitors have reported feelings of disorientation, dizziness, or a faint ringing in the ears when standing near the fissure. No audible sound is present, yet people describe a strange displacement in spatial awareness. These details turn the valley into more than just a geological curiosity. It becomes an open mystery where science, sensation, and intuition collide in awe. Among the strangest archaeological enigmas ever discovered in South America, the stitched skulls of Peru continue to baffle scientists after decades of study. These skulls, unearthed primarily in the Paracas region and along the southern coast of Peru, are marked by small round holes piercing through the bone, seemingly drilled deliberately and with striking uniformity. What do you think these holes were really for? Do you believe they served a spiritual purpose? or something far stranger that we've yet to understand? Share your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Through these small holes, coarse fibers or plant-based cords were threaded in a stitching pattern, much like sewing on skin or fabric, except this was done on solid human bone. The result is an image both puzzling and disturbing, as it doesn't match any known medical treatment or typical burial ritual from ancient cultures. What makes this phenomenon especially noteworthy is that there are no signs of bone regeneration around the manipulated areas, proving that the stitching occurred after death, completely different from surgical trepanation. Even more shocking is this not a single ancient text, whether on cloth pottery, oral tradition, or carved symbol, makes any mention of skull stitching as part of cultural or funerary practices. This total historical silence has led archaeologists to wonder, was this a secret rite reserved for an elite class, or a practice deliberately erased from cultural memory? Some theories suggest that skull stitching carried spiritual meaning, perhaps to keep the soul from leaving the body or to prevent the spirit of the dead from haunting the living. Others believe it symbolized restoration, stitching back what was lost, preserving wholeness in death. However, all of these remain speculative, lacking archaeological or cultural evidence to confirm them. It is the complete absence of cultural context, combined with the unusual method itself, that makes the stitched skulls of Peru one of the most perplexing mysteries in South American archaeology, a riddle modern science has yet to solve. The bronze spiral blades of Sumatra. Bronze spiral blades discovered on the island of Sumatra are among the greatest archaeological enigmas of Southeast Asia. Unlike typical metal tools designed for practical use, these artifacts astonish with their highly unique shape. The blades curl into perfect spirals, forming a structure that is both intricate and functionally illogical. With such an unusual design, they are completely unsuitable for combat hunting or daily use. The biggest question remains, what were they created for? What do you think these spiral blades were really made for? Were they part of a lost ritual, a forgotten symbol of power, or something even stranger? Share your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take on this ancient mystery. No ancient text mentions similar objects. They also don't match any known crafting traditions in Southeast Asia, even though Sumatra was once a center of major civilizations such as Srivijaya. Archaeologists have found no other versions from the same period, and to this day, these blades remain one of a kind, with no replicas, no precedent, and no cultural lineage. Some theories suggest they were ritual objects, possibly used in ancient religious ceremonies, involving the sun whirlpools or sacred serpents. The spiral shape, a symbol found in ancient cultures worldwide, often represents cosmic energy rebirth or the cycles of time. But all of this remains pure speculation. Others believe the blades might have been symbols of power among the elite, or even artifacts from a lost civilization, leaving behind only fragmented clues that we can't yet interpret. The inability to explain their purpose is exactly what makes them so captivating. They're like a broken clue in history, visible yet silently resisting all logical explanation. Because we can't determine their practical function, these blades have become a deeply fascinating symbol. They not only challenge the limits of modern archaeological understanding, but also evoke the unsettling sense that something vital remains hidden in human history, something we may not yet be ready to uncover. Among the lesser-known yet haunting archaeological enigmas of the Middle East, the so-called necklace statues of Iran continue to perplex modern scholars. These statues are typically unearthed in regions like Luristan or Khuzestan, carved from limestone or sandstone with humanoid forms that notably lack necks, their heads appear to emerge directly from their shoulders. This strange anatomy makes them immediately stand out among the more traditional archaeological relics of Iran. What do you think about the bizarre design of these necklace statues? Could it be an ancient artistic style or a clue to something far beyond our imagination? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. However, what truly confounds archaeologists isn't just the bizarre design, it's the complete absence of any accompanying context. There are no inscriptions, no symbols, no carvings, and no nearby architectural remains to help determine their age function or symbolic meaning. These statues are usually discovered in isolation, not within tombs, temples, or any known ceremonial settings. This makes them feel like a disconnected puzzle piece, out of place in the broader history of the ancient Mesopotamian world. This lack of context has led to a wide range of theories. Some suggest they belong to an unnamed ancient culture, others see them as ancestral representations or lost religious icons. A few scholars even speculate whether these could be examples of early abstract artistic expression, where anatomical accuracy was sacrificed for symbolic intent. Or perhaps they are remnants of a forgotten belief system that was never recorded in writing and now has vanished completely from human memory. The repetition in their design, round heads, square shoulders, arms crossed over the chest, only adds to the impression of a once coherent worldview. But with no texts, no context, these necklace statues remain forever in the shadows of history, as if they were created solely to challenge our imagination and interpretive limits. The floating path of Lake Baikal is one of the most mysterious and mesmerizing natural phenomena ever recorded at the world's deepest freshwater lake. During the frigid winter months, when Lake Baikal freezes into a thick sheet of ice meters, deep observers have reported the appearance of a strange path, long, perfectly straight, and striking across the vast icy landscape. What do you think caused this perfectly straight path to appear on frozen Lake Baikal? Could it be just ice and pressure, or something more mysterious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're curious to hear your theory. What makes it even more unusual is that this path was not made by human hands, nor does it have any visible physical structure. It's simply a strip of ice with a slightly different texture and color, often smoother and flatter than the surrounding surface, as if an invisible hand had drawn a flawless line across the lake using a ruler. The length of this path can stretch for dozens of kilometers, astonishing those who see it for the first time due to its remarkable symmetry and straightness, something hard to explain given the harsh, chaotic natural conditions at Lake Baikal. Beyond its visual impact, what puzzles scientists and observers even more is that the path does not align with any official traffic or transport routes across the lake. It's not the result of tire tracks or human activity. Some scientific theories suggest that underground water currents moving beneath the ice may alter the structure of the surface, creating an area with different reflective properties which makes it appear elevated or floating compared to the rest of the ice sheet. This phenomenon doesn't occur annually. Only during certain special winters, when the right combination of temperature, atmospheric pressure, and ice formation come together, does the floating path appear, often captured by satellites or witnessed by explorers on site. Its elusive nature adds to the mystery, sparking endless speculation, from scientific explanations to spiritual theories, and even tales about a lost ancient civilization buried beneath the depths of Lake Baikal. The floating path is more than a curious visual event. It has become a symbol of the deep and enduring mystery of Lake Baikal, a place where each winter seems to open a gateway into an unexplored world full of secrets nature has yet to reveal. The frictionless rail of Ukraine is considered one of the most mysterious archaeological phenomena ever recorded in Eastern Europe. Located in a remote hilly area, far from any ancient settlements or known transportation routes, this structure appears as a perfectly straight groove, stretching approximately 30 meters, carved into natural granite bedrock, a type of rock so hard that even modern machinery must handle it with care. But what do you think this could be? A forgotten piece of ancient technology, a natural geological fluke, or something even more mysterious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're curious to hear your theory. What truly sets it apart is not its shape or location, but its almost frictionless surface, a characteristic that has stunned independent researchers and fringe explorers alike. Many who have encountered it describe the sensation of touching the groove as similar to sliding on ice, coated with Teflon, smooth, slick, and causing the hand to glide effortlessly along its length. Some even claim that placing a small metal object on the groove causes it to slide down the incline with virtually no resistance, unlike what would be expected from a typical rock surface. This phenomenon has sparked various theories. It might be the result of an ultrafine polishing technique never documented in any known civilization. Or possibly, there exists a layer of strange synthetic material with properties similar to modern nanomaterials applied to the rock's surface. Even more baffling is the fact that there are no signs of chiseling or cutting with metal tools. No grooves, no grinding marks, no indications of physical intervention by ancient humans. It appears as if the rock had been split or shaped with smooth precision, leaving no trace of workmanship. There are no historical documents, no old maps, and no signs of settlement in the surrounding area, making this rail a solitary enigma in the landscape. There is no evidence to suggest it was ever used, had a specific technical function, or belonged to any ancient transportation system. To this day, no official scientific study has been published analyzing the materials or explaining the bizarre, frictionless quality of the surface. Could it be the product of a lost technology, or perhaps something not of human origin at all? Amid the desolate expanse of Outer Mongolia, archaeologists once uncovered a series of strange stone discs that have baffled researchers for decades. They came to be known as the spinning discs of Outer Mongolia, named for both their shape and the unusual physical phenomena they exhibit. But what do you think these discs really are? Are they ancient tools, religious artifacts, or something far more advanced? Share your theories in the comments below. These discs are about 30 cm in diameter, thin and lightweight, with a small hole at the center, reminiscent of the classic flying saucers often described in UFO accounts. What puzzled scientists even more was their composition, a kind of stone compound containing silicon and traces of rare metals like cobalt and vanadium elements not commonly found in the region where they were discovered. The discs were not found alongside any architectural remains, ritual artifacts, or cultural tools. This lack of accompanying evidence made their purpose even more difficult to understand and far more mysterious. What truly astonished scientists and sparked endless speculation was the bizarre behavior of the discs when placed near strong magnetic fields. In controlled experiments, researchers observed that some of the discs could begin to slowly spin on their own without any mechanical contact, as if they were reacting to some invisible force. Although the rotation could not be sustained for long periods, the phenomenon was enough to raise serious questions. Were these discs designed to interact with a now lost form of ancient energy? Some have proposed that they might be linked to magnetic navigation technologies or even ancient energy transmission devices that modern science has yet to understand, hinting at a forgotten civilization with knowledge far ahead of its time. Adding to the mystery, the disk's surfaces bear tiny, intricate carvings that do not match any known writing system. Some researchers have compared them to the markings found on the mysterious Dropa disks, another archaeological enigma discovered in the Tibet-China border region. From their design and material to their physical behavior and engraved symbols, everything about these objects suggests they are not merely random ancient stones. They could be artifacts from a vanished civilization or even evidence of an ancient intelligence that once possessed a profound understanding of natural forces, knowledge we are still struggling to rediscover today. In the heart of the arid Jordanian desert, where sandstorms have carved rock formations for millions of years, there lies a mystery so strange that even scientists are left baffled: the Echo Gem of Jordan. At first glance, it appears to be just another smooth, round sandstone boulder, like countless others in the region. But when lightly tapped, it emits a deep, resonant sound, almost like a bronze bell echoing from within. What makes this phenomenon remarkable isn't just the sound itself, but the fact that it comes from a completely solid rock with no hollow chamber or known resonating structure inside. What do you think is really happening inside this stone? Could it be an unknown natural phenomenon, or the remnant of forgotten ancient technology or rituals? Drop your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. In 2011, a team of geologists from the University of Jordan, in collaboration with German acoustic experts, conducted a thorough investigation. They used ultrasound scanners, magnetic resonance equipment, and micro-seismic analysis to search for any internal cavities that might explain the echo. But the results were astonishing. The rock was completely solid from surface to core. There were no signs of air pockets, hollow chambers, or internal fractures, features typically necessary to produce such an acoustic effect. From a physical standpoint, the rock should not be able to produce any echo at all, and yet it clearly does whenever a slight force is applied to its surface. Even more curiously, the sound varies depending on the time of day. In the early morning, the echo is high-pitched and clear. By midday, it becomes lower and heavier, and at night, the sound almost disappears entirely. Some theories suggest that microscopic changes within the rock's internal structure, perhaps triggered by temperature or magnetic field shifts, could be responsible. Yet no explanation has been definitively proven. Local Bedouins refer to the stone as the breath of the desert god, believing that the soul of an ancient guardian deity is sealed inside it. Whether it is a freak of nature or a forgotten artifact of ancient engineering, the Echo Gem of Jordan remains there, silently echoing, challenging modern science, and guarding a secret of the earth that no one has yet been allowed to uncover. At the Dmanisi archaeological site in Georgia, renowned for its hominin fossils dated to over 1.8 million years ago, archaeologists unearthed a mysterious object believed to be the oldest water clock ever discovered. However, what shocked the scientific community was not just its age or the location where it was found, but rather its completely unique structure. Unlike any clepsydra water clock known in human history, what do you think this complex design was meant for? Do you believe it was truly a timekeeping device, an astronomical model, a ritual object, or something we've never even imagined? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you interpret this one-of-a-kind structure. Instead of being a simple container with a small hole for water to drip through and mark time, like classical examples from Egypt or Greece, the clock at Dmanisi features an extraordinarily complex design. It contains spiral channels, interconnected water chambers in an asymmetric pattern, and precisely carved internal markings arranged in regular cycles. Some researchers even suggest that it is more symbolic than functional, possibly a model simulating astronomical movements or representing lunar phases, rather than merely telling time. Key question: who designed such a sophisticated measuring system during a period when humans were supposedly just learning to use fire? The dating of the object aligns with the era of Homo erectus Georgicus, which only adds to the mystery. If confirmed to be from that time, it would far surpass current understanding of early humans' capacity for abstract thought planning and craftsmanship. The stone used to make the object is not native to the Dmanisi region and may have originated from Anatolia or even farther away, suggesting a much earlier and wider cultural exchange network than previously assumed. This raises questions about the existence of technical knowledge-sharing systems in prehistory. The object shows no wear or indications of prolonged use, yet its surface is exquisitely crafted as if the purpose was not practical use, but rather to showcase knowledge or perform a ritual, resembling more of an intellectual artifact than a timekeeping device. All these elements point to one conclusion. The Dmanisi water clock is not merely an artifact. It is a question that challenges our entire current understanding of human intellectual evolution. It may not just measure time, it may measure the limits of what we think we know. In the heart of the Atacama Desert, the driest region on the planet, where average annual rainfall is less than 1 millimeter, people have discovered strange tree trunks standing isolated on cracked earth. They have no branches, no leaves, and most curiously, no roots at all. Known as the rootless trees of Atacama, these entities present a living paradox amid the scorching heat and the absolute stillness of time. But what do you think? Could these trees really be remnants of ancient life or something else entirely? Drop your theory in the comments below. We're curious to hear your take. At first, some assumed these were simply remnants of ancient dried-out trees from a time when Atacama was still humid. But upon closer scientific examination, an anomaly became clear. There are no signs of any root system. No deep roots, no biological embryo, no traces of plant tissue. They stand as if they sprouted from the earth, but in truth, they don't seem to belong to it at all. What truly puzzles researchers is what shows up when these samples are analyzed. They contain no biological tissue. Under an electron microscope, there are no plant cells, no lignin, no vascular structures, none of the features that would suggest they were once alive. And yet, paradoxically, they aren't quite stone either. Their material composition doesn't match any known natural minerals. There are no crystalline structures like sedimentary or igneous rock, and they don't align with any standard definition of a fossil. Instead, they seem to exist in a blurry boundary between biology and geology, a hybrid form of matter never before identified in nature. Some scientists speculate that these structures may be the result of an incomplete petrification process where organic matter began transforming into inorganic substance only to be frozen mid-transformation. The result, a bizarre hybrid that's not entirely wood, yet not fully rock. More radical hypotheses even propose that these could be traces of an ancient form of life, vastly different from any known biological lineage today. To this day, the rootless trees of Atacama remain an unsolved mystery, defying explanations across fields from botany and geology to materials science. They are not alive, yet not dead, not fully biological, yet not truly geological. In an age when humanity believes it understands the rules of nature, the existence of these in-between entities serves as a humbling reminder there are still countless things beyond the grasp of our knowledge. The smoking stones of Iceland. Mysterious stones quietly emitting smoke in Iceland's wilderness have baffled scientists for many years. From afar, one can see thin wisps of smoke rising from clusters of cold grey stones, reminiscent of smouldering ashes after a fire, yet there is no flame, no heat. Upon closer inspection, the first thing that stuns geologists is these stones are completely cold. There is no evidence of surface volcanic activity, no lava flows, and the surrounding ground is not even warm. The smoke appears to emerge from tiny cracks, either naturally occurring or possibly shaped, but the true origin remains unidentified. What do you think could be causing this cold smoke? Is it a hidden geothermal system, a chemical reaction, or something we haven't even imagined yet? Drop your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Geological tests show that these stones do not match any known rock types commonly found in Iceland. Some samples contain traces of strange minerals, including compounds previously only found in meteorites or rare extraterrestrial samples. These findings have sparked theories suggesting the stones may be linked to alien material or be remnants of ancient geology from Earth's earliest days. Some of the smoking stone clusters appear to be arranged in circles, spirals, or evenly spaced lines. Their spacing and orientation resemble ancient astronomical structures like Stonehenge. However, there are no archaeological traces or historical records indicating that any ancient civilization ever inhabited this region. The question remains, who placed them and for what purpose? This is the aspect that puzzles scientists the most. The smoke contains no sulfur, no CO2, and shows no signs of burning or familiar geothermal processes. Deep chemical analysis reveals the presence of strange, volatile organic compounds with molecular structures unmatched by any known substance. Uniquely, these compounds seem to interact slightly with electromagnetic fields, causing mild interference with nearby electronic devices. Some measuring instruments even recorded weak magnetization in metal parts after prolonged exposure near the stones. This has led to a flurry of hypotheses. Could this be a sign of decomposed material from the Ice Age, a form of ancient biological activity never before discovered, or even residual alien technology? As of now, no theory has enough evidence to be confirmed. To this day, the smoking stones remain an unsolved mystery. They do not belong to conventional geology, do not fit within any established paleontological frameworks, and continue to defy modern chemical analysis. These stones have become a captivating topic for both scientific inquiry and speculative research. They are not merely a natural phenomenon, but rather an open invitation to explore the outer limits of human knowledge. Hidden deep within the remote mountainous jungles of northern Peru, the gravity hole is one of the most mysterious and least understood geological phenomena on Earth. On the surface, there appears to be nothing unusual, no deep craters, no volcanic mouths, and no visible signs of tectonic activity. What do you think about a place that looks completely normal, yet hides something so strange? Could there be other mysterious spots on Earth still waiting to be discovered? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. However, when researchers brought gravimeters to the area, they discovered something strange. The gravitational force in this region is significantly lower than normal. Objects dropped here fall with noticeably less force, not to the extent of jumping like on the moon, but enough for sensitive instruments to register the anomaly compared to surrounding areas. Even more astonishing is that this phenomenon is not accompanied by any detectable magnetic anomalies. In other mysterious places around the world, like Magnetic Hill in Canada or the Bermuda Triangle, strong magnetic fluctuations often disrupt compasses, radio signals, and even human perception. But in the gravity hole, magnetometers remain completely silent. All readings are stable, just like in any normal location. It is this unnaturally normal quality that puzzles scientists the most. If there are no underground voids, no magma activity, and no magnetic irregularities, what exactly is causing the drop in gravity here? This anomaly poses a serious question to modern science, challenging our understanding of the relationship between mass gravity and magnetism. Some theories suggest the region may harbor an unusual concentration of lightweight material, perhaps a pocket of ultralight rock never seen before, or possibly the remnants of a long-lost astronomical event, like a meteor impact erased over time. While science remains puzzled, local indigenous communities have their own stories. This is the place where the sun god once dropped a piece of light, where time stands still, and lost souls wander between worlds. Whether viewed through the lens of science or spirituality, the gravity hole continues to guard its secrets, where gravity defies logic and magnetism seems to ignore the anomalies unfolding right before our eyes. In the harsh and desolate Gobi Desert, where winds whip up endless waves of dust, day and night, lies a mysterious geological or perhaps archaeological phenomenon known locally as the mirror eyes of Mongolia. From above, two bright circular shapes can be clearly seen, lying side by side in the heart of the desert, resembling a pair of giant eyes gazing toward the sky. Each eye spans several dozen meters, with an almost perfectly smooth and flat surface that shimmers under direct sunlight like mirrors embedded in the hot sand. But what do you think these mirror eyes really are? A natural geological mystery, the remnants of a lost civilization, or something even stranger beyond what science can explain? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. What baffles scientists the most is the composition of the material that makes up these eyes. When survey teams collected samples from the outer edges, they discovered that the surface was not natural rock, such as sandstone or basalt, common in this region. Under a microscope, the samples revealed unusual crystal arrangements with properties similar to glass, but not matching any known natural or synthetic glass. One hypothesis suggests that the material is a result of extremely high temperatures similar to trinitite, a glass-like substance formed during the first nuclear explosion. However, there is no evidence of fire radiation or meteorite impact anywhere in the vicinity. This makes the origin of the material seem completely illogical and inexplicable by current scientific standards. Even more strangely, in an environment where sand can bury everything within months, the mirror eyes remain completely uncovered, as if some invisible force is constantly keeping them exposed. After multiple sandstorms and shifting dunes, the two eyes still reveal their bright, clean surfaces, completely defying the natural behavior of desert landscapes. There are no foundations, no cultural artifacts, and no signs of excavation or construction suggesting that these are not remnants of any known ancient man-made structure. This makes the mirror eyes appear even more isolated, out of place, and inexplicably strange. Nomadic locals call them the eyes of the sky, looking down upon the earth, believed to be capable of seeing into a person's soul. According to some legends, if you stand between the two eyes during a full moon, you'll witness visions of forgotten memories. But for the modern scientific community, this place represents a challenge to our understanding of matter itself, a phenomenon that still has no satisfying explanation. Among the most mysterious artifacts ever discovered on the Crimean Peninsula, the three-armed idol stands out as a massive enigma to archaeologists and fringe theorists alike. Unearthed a few decades ago in a small cave near the southern coast of Crimea, this 40-centimeter-tall statue depicts a humanoid figure with three fully carved arms, the third of which emerges from the center of the chest, a completely unnatural position not found in any known religious or artistic symbolism from the region. But what do you think this statue really represents? Was it a forgotten deity, an alien symbol, or something even more mysterious? Share your theory. In the comments below, we'd love to hear it. While the form itself is striking, what truly baffles scientists is the material from which the statue was made. The idol is carved from a smooth, bluish-gray stone, with an almost perfect crystalline texture. There are no signs of natural cracks or common impurities seen in local stone. Surprisingly, geological analyses have failed to match the stone to any known quarry in Crimea or nearby areas, including the Caucasus Mountains and Central Asia. Some experts have even suggested that this type of stone may be geologically extinct, meaning it no longer exists on Earth's surface due to tectonic shifts and erosion over millions of years. Others propose that the material might have been transported from a distant region through ancient trade routes. However, this contradicts the context of the period, as the discovery site was isolated and undeveloped at the time. So who brought this strange stone here? And more intriguingly, who were they to create such a non-human figure? Additional features, such as its deep hollow eye sockets and the complete absence of similar artifacts nearby, only add to the mystery. No pottery, no signs of human settlement, no matching artistic motifs have been found. The three-armed idol appears to be alone in both time and style, like a stranger dropped into cultural history with no explanation. To this day, the three-armed idol of Crimea stands silently like an ancient witness whose language no one can decipher. Whether it was a religious symbol, a ritual object, or something far stranger remains unknown. All we are left with is a bizarre form, an unidentifiable material, and a deafening silence from the past. Beneath the permafrost of Siberia, archaeologists have uncovered bizarre structures known as bone cones, massive conical formations made from hundreds of bones belonging to mammoths, bison reindeer, and other prehistoric megafauna. Standing between 1 and 2 meters tall, these bone piles are not the result of random natural processes. Instead, they were deliberately arranged, tightly packed, and sometimes layered into spiral or multi-tiered cones. What do you think these bone cones were really for a ritual monument, a forgotten spiritual code, or something we haven't even imagined yet? Share your theory in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you interpret this ancient mystery. Astonishingly, these structures were built by prehistoric humans people who had no access to metal tools. Yet the precision and order in selecting, transporting, and assembling the bones reveal a high level of coordination, planning, and understanding of structural form. This work required not only strength, but also group cooperation and a basic architectural sense. Adding to the mystery is their location. The bone cones are found in remote, desolate landscapes far from any known ancient settlements. There are no signs of dwellings, hunting camps, or even regular human activity nearby, deepening the enigma surrounding their purpose. Many of these structures show signs of charring, suggesting that fires were lit on or near them in the past. Despite this, they've remained remarkably well preserved, thanks to Siberia's harsh, freezing climate, which has kept them intact for thousands of years. This is the question that continues to baffle scientists the most. Why were the bone cones created? There are no human remains, no associated tools, no carvings, symbols, or artifacts that could provide context. Theories remain speculative at best. Ritual altars, places for sacrifice, or ceremonies honoring the spirits of animals, particularly mammoths, which were vital for survival. Migration markers, indicating key stopping points along ancient travel routes. Primitive astronomical calendars, structures aligned to track the sun seasons or time. Spiritual symbols, manifestations of belief systems tied to natural forces beyond understanding. Each possibility opens a window into a vanished mindset, but none can be proven yet. To this day, the bone cones remain an unsolved mystery, a silent echo from the Ice Age, where early humans may have reached toward the sacred, using nothing but the bones of long-extinct beasts. These mute relics may still be telling a story, one we're not yet wise enough to hear. Scattered across the windswept highlands of southern Peru, the windpipes of Peru are among the most mysterious structures ever discovered in South America. On the surface, they appear as long, straight rock grooves carved parallel to each other or arranged in layers like giant flutes. But upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that these formations are not just geological accidents or random erosion. They are deliberately carved into solid rock, requiring technique, effort, and above all, a very specific purpose. The problem is, to this day, no one knows exactly what that purpose was. What do you think these strange stone grooves were really made for? Were they musical instruments, communication tools, or something else entirely? Share your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What has puzzled archaeologists and researchers for decades is the true function of these stone pipes. Could they have once been a kind of ancient musical instrument? Some modern experiments have shown that when wind passes through certain grooves, emit a faint flute-like sound, soft but mesmerizing. Perhaps they were used in ancient rituals where sound was not just for hearing, but for summoning for worship, or even for communicating with unseen entities. Supporters of this theory believe the windpipes were part of a ceremonial acoustic system designed to channel, transmit sound, or create mysterious auditory effects during sacred gatherings. Other researchers lean toward a more practical explanation, suggesting the windpipes might have been a form of ancient signaling system, helping mountain communities communicate across long distances by blowing sound through the stone grooves, much like horns or stone whistles. However, no known culture in Peruvian history has left behind records or symbols referencing the use of such structures, which only deepens the mystery. No one knows who created them, when they were made, or why. But one thing is certain, they were not random. They are arranged with intention, with rhythm, and with structure. And above all, they carry a whisper humanity has yet to decode. In the arid wastelands of Algeria, where modern humans rarely set foot, lies an ancient enigma that scientists have yet to decipher: the scribed dome of Algeria. It is a massive stone dome, shaped almost like a perfect hemisphere, rising from a flat and barren landscape. Its appearance immediately caused a stir due to its highly symmetrical, seemingly intentional design, unlike anything known to be formed by natural processes. What do you think? Could something like this form naturally, or is it a sign of ancient technology we've never discovered? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the scribed dome is a product of nature-lost civilization, or something else entirely? What truly puzzles archaeologists is the surface of the dome itself. The entire structure is covered in deep, consistent carvings arranged in repeating patterns. They resemble no known ancient writing system, not Berber, not Egyptian, and certainly not random decorative motifs. The most astonishing detail is how these carvings were made. Under modern microscopes, the grooves show nearly identical depth, sharp vertical walls, and clean edges as if cut with laser tools. There are no signs of chipping abrasion or blunt force typical traces of ancient stone tools. This has led researchers to admit the craftsmanship here goes far beyond anything we understand from ancient technology. No one can explain which civilization could have created such precision, or whether it was even made by humans. The question remains, who or what made these carvings? If it was human, what tools did they use? In which era? And if not human, what other explanation is there? Even more puzzling is the fact that no signs of settlement have been found nearby. No tools, no pottery, no burials, no civilization appears to have existed around this massive structure. A great monument, yet completely isolated. Strangely, electronic devices tend to malfunction near the dome. GPS signals go haywire, and magnetic instruments detect unusual geomagnetic interference. Some researchers speculate that beneath the dome may lie an artificial structure or unknown material yet to be discovered. The scribed dome of Algeria, both a work of art and a challenge to ancient engineering, still stands silently defying explanation. It feels like a message from a distant past, whispering, perhaps we do not yet know the full story of human history on this planet. Amid the vast sands of the Sahara Desert, where only scorching sun and winds seem to exist, lies a strange deep pit known by locals with the simple name, the Light Pit. There are no signs, no official roads lead to it, yet those who have reached this place always return with an unbelievable story. What do you think could be hidden deep inside the Light Pit? Is it a natural phenomenon we don't understand yet, or something far beyond our current knowledge? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theory. What makes this site a subject of intense debate among researchers isn't its strange shape or its bottomless depth, but rather the bizarre light that emerges from deep within the ground at night. It's not artificial lighting, not flammable gas. This light carries a soft bluish-white hue, like moonlight soaked in cold water, steadily shining from the pit's mouth without any identifiable source. This phenomenon has never been documented anywhere else on Earth. Some geologists speculate it might be caused by bioluminescence, yet no light-emitting organisms have ever been found at the site. Others suspect magnetic interference, but measuring devices are frequently disrupted or disabled when approaching the pit. The shape of the pit only deepens the mystery. It forms an almost perfect circle with smooth, even walls, unlike any known natural sinkhole. There are no signs of collapse, no volcanic melt, and no meteor fragments like those found in ancient impact craters. Why would a deep, geometrically perfect hole lie in the middle of a barren desert and emit an unnamed light? To this day, no one has offered a convincing explanation. It hasn't been developed for tourism, nor is there any official report from the Algerian government. It simply exists silently, like a glowing wound in the heart of the desert, challenging everything modern science thinks it knows. The Burnt Garden of Armenia is one of the most unusual and emotional archaeological discoveries of the modern era. Located at Khamir Blur, the ancient fortress of Teishebaini from the Urartian Empire, this garden tells not only a story of life, but also serves as a unique testament to how death, specifically death by fire, can preserve history. What do you think about the idea that fire, often seen as destructive, could actually preserve history so perfectly? Do you see it as a tragedy or a strange kind of miracle? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Around the 6th century, BCE disaster struck this stronghold. The entire settlement was engulfed in flames following a violent attack. Fire consumed homes, food stores, and an entire garden of grapes, barley, and fruit trees, everything reduced to ash. Yet that very fire, once thought to be the end, miraculously became the reason why everything was preserved for over 600 years. The fire effectively sealed the garden's remains from seeds and roots to wooden fragments in a thick layer of ash, causing them to become carbonized rather than decomposed over time. As a result, modern archaeologists have uncovered grape seeds, beans, wheat, and barley in remarkably preserved shapes, an extraordinarily rare phenomenon in archaeology. Like an agricultural version of Pompeii, this burnt garden opens a gateway back to ancient farming practices. Beyond plant remains, the site has preserved wine jars, fermentation barrels, and agricultural tools made of bronze and iron, all scorched but oddly intact. Today, scientists are decoding DNA from these carbonized seeds in an effort to revive the original plant varieties. This could lead to the recreation of ancient Eurasian wine and staple crops, as if summoning the taste of a lost civilization. Fire is usually seen as a force of destruction, but in the case of the burnt garden of Armenia, it became a tool for preserving time. A garden once consumed by flames has now become the most vivid whisper of a vanished civilization, one that disappeared from maps but never from memory. The hidden face on Lapis Slab, Afghanistan, is one of the most visually puzzling mysteries ever recorded from the Sarisang mines in Badakhshan province, renowned for their ancient gemstone, lapis lazuli. What draws attention to this slab is not just the rarity of its material, but an extraordinary phenomenon, a human-like face appearing clearly on the surface of the stone, complete with eyes, nose, mouth, and jawline, yet showing no trace of carving or artificial shaping. This face seems to be a natural part of the mineral structure itself. Layers of deep blue lazurite, metallic pyrite, and white calcite intertwine to create a mesmerizing visual effect, leading many to believe this is a piece of art crafted by the earth itself, untouched by human hands. What do you think could this be? Just a coincidence of mineral layers? Or is there something deeper going on here? A message from nature? Or perhaps a forgotten intelligence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Archaeologists and mineralogists have examined the slab closely and concluded that there are absolutely no signs of cutting tools, metal instruments, or any mechanical intervention. Under microscopic analysis, the mineral layers are completely seamless, formed over millions of years through natural geological processes. This raises a tough question. How could such a human-like image form entirely by chance? Is this merely a case of pareidolia, the psychological phenomenon where humans see familiar shapes in random patterns? Or could it be some subconscious message from nature that we have yet to decipher? The mystery deepens. When the stone is observed from different angles, the face seems to change its features, sometimes resembling a man, other times an ancient woman, and occasionally evoking animals or mythical beings. Researchers call this a rare polymorphic visual effect in nature. To those who believe in ancient symbolism and energy, this face is seen as an ancient gaze, a timeless image silently watching us through millions of years. In many ancient cultures, particularly in Egypt and Mesopotamia, lapis lazuli symbolized the night sky, divine power, and the eyes of the gods. The appearance of a face, seemingly natural, on this exact stone only deepens the mystery. A strange joke by nature, or perhaps a forgotten remnant. of a lost early civilization, one that may have once known how to interact with nature in ways we can no longer comprehend. The clay clock of northern Myanmar is one of the strangest and least known archaeological enigmas in Southeast Asia. Discovered not long ago during a geological excavation near the Myanmar-China border, this object astonished researchers not just because of its peculiar shape, but because of one major question: what is it, and how could it possibly function? What do you think this mysterious clay object could be? A lost invention, a religious artifact, or just a strange coincidence of nature? Drop your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. In terms of appearance, the object resembles an ancient clock face, circular and flat, approximately 30 centimeters in diameter, made of dark red fired clay. Its surface features a series of concentric spiral grooves resembling clock hands or some kind of time-tracking mechanism. Although there are no gears, springs, or any mechanical parts, many of these grooves show wear in a specific rotational direction, raising the suspicion that the object may have once been in motion. What makes it truly strange is that no evidence of any mechanism has ever been found. No auxiliary devices, no mounting base, no attachment marks, and the entire object is just a single block of clay. Several theories have been proposed. Some scholars suggest it was a type of primitive water clock. Water could be poured into the grooves, and the flow rate would indicate the passage of time. Others liken it to a rudimentary sundial. Sunlight hitting the angled grooves would cast shifting shadows to mark the hours. But here lies the biggest issue: no model has ever successfully replicated how it might have worked. It shouldn't function, and yet it bears signs of a device that once operated. This paradox has prevented archaeologists from reaching any clear conclusion. The contradiction between its machine-like design and its purely clay construction raises a serious question. Could this be a prehistoric time-measuring device built with a mechanism completely unlike anything we know? Or is it simply an ornamental object, a geometric toy of the ancients, onto which we've projected far too many modern assumptions? To this day, the clay clock of northern Myanmar remains one of archaeology's most unclassifiable artifacts. It doesn't fit into any known civilization. It shows no proof of mechanical function, yet it cannot be dismissed as completely inert. It is an archaeological enigma, challenging both our technology and imagination, and perhaps the only surviving clue to a long-lost knowledge system buried deep in this remote land.